I'm Jesse Nelson, Sports Center, brought to you by Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, home of smoke-free slots and the highest payout percentage in the area. Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, more spins, more wins, more fun. The Milwaukee Brewers, 9-8 walk-off winners over the Arizona Diamondbacks last night at American Family Field. Good news is the Brewers won the game with a walk-off. Isaac Collins with a sac fly in the bottom of the ninth took the Brewers for their second consecutive victory over the Diamondbacks. The bad news, Milwaukee led the game 6-0 and blew the lead. The D-backs came back to tie it at 8 with a 3-run top of the seventh inning. Second night in a row, the Brewers had a 6-0 lead. They let the Diamondbacks get within one on Monday night, gave up the lead entirely last night. The two teams back at it tonight, 6:40, first pitch at American Family Field. Pre-game coverage starts just after 6 o'clock, right here on Madison's home of the Brewers, 100.5 ESPN. Football, the Packers have trimmed the active roster down to 53 players. Micah Parsons is not one of them. However, rumors speculating on the internet last night, the Packers could be a trade candidate with the Cowboys star. We'll talk about it on Wilde and Tausch right now.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com. Three-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde.
There aren't any Jasons 12 and under. That's a dead name.
Packers Hall of Famer, Mark Tauscher.
How many kids do you hear, hey, Marky? It might be almost to the point of Ruth.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio.
You love that name so much, you don't even go by it.
On 100.5 ESPN.
If you call me Mark, I'm fine. I like my name. I like my name a lot.
The ESPN Wisconsin app.
Wilde and Tausch.
And ESPN Madison on YouTube.
It's Wilde and Tausch, isn't it?
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
It is the Wednesday edition. The Gabe Neitzel-a-thon edition. The Brewers keep finding ways, baby, edition. But most importantly, the breaking news edition. Micah Parsons is a Dallas Cowboys still. Edition.
That was mean.
You know what's mean? Waking up to text messages and tweets demanding that I break the news that Micah Parsons is a Packer. I am not omnipotent. That's not how this job works. And plus, how often do I break news?
You're also not a newsbreaker. Yeah, you're not a newsbreaker.
Well,
Also, I don't know what
no offense.
means. That was a big word.
I'm Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. And, of course, everything you need in the all-new, all-redesigned, all-free, all-customizable ESPN Wisconsin app, which you can find both in the Android and Apple app stores. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. I am not joined by Micah Parsons in my Wilde Family Basement Studios. Jesse Nelson is in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison Studios. He is joined by lots of great teammates, but not Micah Parsons. And from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue, in the 3rd Street Market Hall in Milwaukee, You hear him across all the national programming on ESPN. You hear him on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. I heard him talking to Adam Schefter this morning because I did wake up to those texts of angry Packers fans that none of us, including Adam Schefter, delivered the news they were looking for. He is the great. And by the way, nice hat. We both went with unusual Brewers hats today.
That's cute.
Might have to turn mine around. I know I'm a catcher at heart, remember. He is Gabe Neitzel, our cousin sub of the day, cousin subs. We believe in better. Gabriel, good day, sir. How are you?
Good day. I'm doing well. How are you boys today? Should be a fun day, right? Just Micah Parsons rumors left, right, coming out of our ears.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
No,
Gabe.
you're not excited for you're not excited for the Micah Parsons rumors?
What do we need to know, Jason? What do you know?
Look, let's start here. Adam Schefter is the preeminent newsbreaker in what I would argue all of newsbreaking in the sports realm. Especially now, we love the Woj bombs. We love Shams. He's doing a great job. Tough act to follow. It's like Rodgers following Favre. But Adam's the GOAT, right? I mean, Adam and I have known each other since covering Super Bowl 32 together. He obviously has risen up the ranks a little higher than I have.
Did he also sit on the bus going, I don't think there's a way the Packers lose this game? Did he also sit on the bus doing that, or was he?
We did. We were on the bus together. He was sitting toward the front. I was toward the back with my Wisconsin State Journal
cool
cronies.
kid in the back of the bus. I get it.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, no question. But look, I am a big fan of Adam. I don't have the desire or wherewithal to play the information trading game that is required to be a great newsbreaker. I don't want to deal with agents. I don't enjoy agents. There are a few agents that I really like, but a lot of them, they're a lot. Okay? So it's fine. I am lucky that I work for a couple places that are fine with me not being Johnny Newsbreaker all the time. And if we're being honest, most people that do my job these days, it's very rare for us to get news, right? Because the conduits are Adam Schefter, Ian Rappaport, Jordan Schultz, or as Tausch calls him, the coffee guy, is back in the mix now after his near dust-up with the rap sheet fight in Indy. Diana Rossini does a great job. But there's like a small subset. Guy. That's what Tausch calls him. I mean, he is the
that's a great nickname.
Guy.
Hey, great nickname. If you know, you know.
Right. So I am very comfortable in who I am, and I'm okay with that. But it was interesting last night because I went to bed. I gotta be honest with you. I'm getting older. I don't have the. I get tired more than I ever did before. Like I used to be able to write till like 3 a.m, get back up at 6:30 when the girls were babies, and I could do it, no problem. Last night I fell asleep.
Hey, I'm just telling you, Jason. If you're looking to get that energy back, mentalityhealth.com/radio. It's going to help you. It could be signs of low testosterone, buddy.
I've heard that.
Also, if Tausch was here, I'm sure he would say thank you for your service, for staying up late and writing. You're a real trooper and a service of the industry.
I didn't stay up late last night. This has happened a few times in my career. I fell asleep writing. Like my laptop was on my lap. So I don't know what that says about the quality or how interesting what I was writing was if the author himself fell asleep. Be that as it may. I go to sleep. I had seen the Ricky tweet. I had seen the other folks that were buzzing. It was like the Ferris Bueller, Christy Swanson scene in the classroom about some guy who knows this girl who saw Ferris pass out at 31 Flavors last night. I think it was third hand.
I think it's pretty serious.
Yes, good. Well done. I'm proud of you. Third hand, somebody who lives next door to a Dallas trainer. Okay. So anyway, I go to bed thinking, look, if they trade for Micah Parsons while I'm sleeping, hey, it's not the first time news is broken while I've been sleeping, right? Randall Cobb texting me to let me know he was re-signing with the Packers. Yeah. Slept right through it. But I wake up, and apparently Cheesehead TV, who, look, they do a phenomenal job. Nagler has created, and Corey Benke, they have created something remarkable. They've kind of synergized a lot of the Packers Twitter, Packers blogosphere under one roof. They've done a great job. There have been times where we have not seen eye to eye, but I respect what they have done. But whoever does their socials had tagged Huber, me, I think Spoon, and somebody else. I can't remember who else it was. But basically, it was, hey, tell us the big news that we all want to hear. The Packers have traded for Micah Parsons. And again, I don't have that kind of power. I report, eventually, what has actually occurred. And so I woke up, I had 10 new followers on Twitter, which is they're usually going the other direction with the people who are leaving X. And then all these replies, demanding, get to the bottom of this. Don't go to bed until you've gotten this story. Well, I'd already gone to bed. So, Gabe, I watched you and Jen and Chewy with Adam Schefter doing his normal Wednesday hit with you guys across ESPN Milwaukee. And my question to you is this. After you got done with Shefty, did you leave that conversation more, less, or the same level of hopefulness that Micah Parsons will be a Green Bay Packer?
I left with the same because I walked into this morning, and as fun as we had talking about the possibility of it, and as much as I would be willing to give up the farm to do it, the biggest hurdle in this whole thing is Jerry Jones. Like, when you have an owner who is on the record, who went on Michael Irvin's YouTube show, which I didn't even know Michael Irvin had a YouTube show until Jerry showed up on it last week.
Are you doing material now? You already used that line once today.
What?
Oh,
yeah,
snap.
Different audience.
Bring fresh stuff to the show, man. I don't care that you did two shows,
Madison
2 hours
wasn't
earlier.
when you're doing Beaver Dam wasn't listening this morning.
When you're doing two shows, Jason, it's not like the comedian has a different show at 7 than he does at 9 o'clock. Now it's the same show, man. I got 2 hours worth of material, and I hope you carry me for the final hour. That's what I'm hoping.
All right, the floor is yours. You recycled joke user.
But at least it's my own joke. But when it comes to Jerry, and he's out there saying, I got 3 years to figure out this contract. That is his mentality going into this whole thing. Like, yeah, I just had the little Freudian slip there. Again, let's shout out, mentalityhealth.com/radio. So that's his whole
might need it
thing
too,
going
actually.
into this. Yeah, I mean, hey, he's getting up there in age. But if he is thinking, I am going to figure this out over the course of the next 3 years, it just seems impossible for Jerry to budge because this thing has gotten so personal. Like, initially, as this thing has been developing, it reminded me a little bit of the Davante Adams thing, of Davante finally going, fine, I'm going to bet on myself. And then, then the story comes out, well, we offered Davante the most money, but by that time it was too late. Right? Like, it had already, the rift had already happened. And that's what I'm thinking we're at with Jerry and Micah Parsons. But with the way Jerry's digging his heels in, potentially violating the CBA and opening himself up for an NFLPA complaint by not dealing with Micah Parsons' agent, with all these things happening, it makes me think Jerry's probably, at least at this point, not likely to trade Micah Parsons. And when we had Shefty on this morning, he more or less confirmed that. Now, Shefty is also the one, when he joined us last week, that we felt was dropping some breadcrumbs of, hey, this thing has devolved between Jerry and Micah Parsons. Maybe worse, and then I think the way Jerry reacted the rest of last week, most of that became more public. But he was saying, hey, I think this relationship, maybe it can be fixed, but usually you fix these relationships by offering the most money, the way that the Browns did with Myles Garrett, who demanded a trade, wanted out, wanted to go to a winner. What if we make you the highest paid non-quarterback in the league? Cleveland is awesome. I love Cleveland. Cleveland is fantastic, right? But now with Parsons, at least if we're believing Jerry is saying he's already offered to make him the highest paid non-quarterback, and Micah Parsons continues to turn that deal down. So it seems like they're at an impasse, but also Jerry seems stubborn enough where he's not going to trade Micah Parsons.
We will check out your thoughts on this on the Carbless Talk and Text line, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. My simple question is, are you getting your hopes up for this? Because it sure felt like there were a lot of folks, and former Packers fullback John Kuhn posting on Twitter, I believe all he wrote was Micah freaking Parsons. And then Kay Adams with a "you guys," which apparently was, is that her shtick? Does she do that when she's got her spidey sense tingling that there's going to be some big news? Is that what? Yes. I didn't understand that reference.
I believe so, yes.
I had Josh DiMaggio texting me. I mean, he's going on Reddit to find stuff now. Like he's
a super sleuth.
Like let's be honest here. Josh, he's all in. Right? I mean, he is
Josh is one of
invested.
the most reasonable people I know. He is literally one of the smartest and most reasonable people I know. He has become irrational over the last 12 hours when it comes to Micah Parsons. And I understand why, Jason. Because to me, I recognize that there is a very low percentage chance that this happens. But when it comes to Micah Parsons versus the other pass rushers that we talked about during the offseason, Myles Garrett, Trey Hendrickson, TJ Watt, the difference is those guys have seen 30 and are on the other side of it. Micah Parsons is 26 years old. That is in the Goody range, plus it's the one thing we're missing, man. It's the one thing the Packers are missing. If you were to add Micah Parsons to this defense, to me, it just makes everything else make more sense. It's going to make Rashawn Gary better. It's going to make you feel better about the cornerback and the lack of depth at that position because you have somebody that can generate a pass rush by himself. You have somebody now that Jeff Hafley can go, yeah, I can try to get pressure with 4. I don't have to be creative with, I'm going to send Edgerrin Cooper on this play, but then I've got to drop one of my guys back. So I'm only technically rushing 4, and we're dropping 7 into coverage. But you can just do so many different things if you're Jeff Hafley, if you have a Micah Parsons. It makes everything fall into place, I think, defensively for the team. And I understand why people would get excited and be irrational about that guy because he is a special player and one of the 3 or 4 best defenders in the league.
I would like to state for the record that I understand the excitement as well, right? This is what being a fan is. One of the parts of being a fan that's really fun is envisioning something like this, right? But I don't. The likelihood of it is still at this hour at 9:17 a.m. on Wednesday, August 27th. 2025, year of our Lord, despite the fact that I have another whack job, Alex Strofe, sending me a screenshot of a private plane that is flying from Dallas to Green Bay, according to FlightAware, and landing in 46 minutes. Despite that, it is still unlikely. But it's fun. And look, if it happens, Katie bar the door. And I know Jen, or I can't remember which of you 3 brought it up. But I said last week when this first started to be a little buzzy, if you're Goody and LaFleur, and you have a new team president who has come out and said he doesn't want lame ducks, but he has also very clearly said they're not getting extensions, you make this move. And yeah, if it blows up in your face, sure, then get you fired, right? You know what else can get you fired? If Ed Policy decides that having the youngest team in the league every year and going 10-7, 11-6, 9-8, and being the 7th seed, and maybe winning a playoff game, maybe not, that could get you fired too. Now, I'm not saying they should fire them. I'm not saying any of that. What I'm saying is if you're Goody and you really do want to win a title, and this player, as we talked about last week, Gabe, fits the suit of the type of player you would be willing to pay, like Josh Jacobs was 26. Xavier McKinney was 24. Banks is 25, 26. Nate Hobbs is 25 or 26. Those are the guys that he pays. Go back to Zadarius Smith. That's what he does. So this is the one guy that actually fits that. Get all excited. Go right ahead. I am not here to tell you how to fan. I am telling you, though, that it is less likely than not that he will stay with the Dallas Cowboys or not be a Packer. And by the way, we look at this through the Packers lens. I'm going to say that there's probably other teams that are also interested in putting a trade offer forth once it becomes clear that he is available. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Crazy.
Teams are going to be interested in this guy?
Yeah.
But again, that's why, like we discussed, I don't even know where Jen saw it. Like, 2 first-round picks and Rashawn Gary and I can't remember the other player. Like, no, that's not going to get it done. Like, there's going to be high interests. In order to actually convince Jerry to trade him, you're going to have to be uncomfortable with it as a Packer fan. Like, you're going to have to be uncomfortable with what the Packers give up because they ain't going to give him away for a song. That's just not going to happen.
Yeah, and last week, and then we'll take a break. We'll get to your calls and texts. 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. That is the Carb List Talk and text line. Lists is more. I got a lot of blowback when we had Evan Cohen on the show last week, and he floated a trade scenario where it was 2 1s, Rashawn Gary, like a 5th and a 2nd somewhere in there, and it was all too rich for people's blood, and they said I was an idiot for being willing to accept that, because I'm making this trade if I have the chance to make it. Go big or go home. Enough of getting only so far into the postseason, right? I mean, as great as it was that they beat Dallas the way they did, they have not accomplished as much as you would like at this point. And maybe they're poised for that to happen this year. But you make this deal, and there's no doubt the expectations are Super Bowl or bust. Right?
Yeah.
So,
without a doubt.
I'm all for it.
Those are welcome expectations. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we will see if anything comes of this. But my point is that it is going, as Gabe said, it is going to cost a fortune. It will not be inexpensive. And are you willing to make that trade? Look, I get along great with Rashawn Gary. I have been critical that he is not the elite player that he is paid to be. And I think he probably down deep understands that and believes that he can still be that guy. And maybe he can, and you don't need Micah Parsons. But if you have to include him in this trade, I wouldn't hesitate if I was the Packers. But again, I haven't watched every snap of Micah Parsons' career either, so maybe he's not as good as he's being advertised. Maybe we're getting a little bit of the Christmas time excitement about the new jersey that you want to get out of the JCPenney catalog.
I don't think you need to hedge that.
Okay.
You don't need. Micah Parsons is that good.
Okay.
He is that good.
I'll take it from the national guy.
He played 13 games last year, and he had 12 sacks. 13 games, still had 12 sacks, despite him being injured. That was his career low. Rashawn Gary, in his career high, hasn't sniffed that.
Those are all valid points. I've got more valid points for you when it comes to Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. And it is not ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here. It is Jason Wilde here. But, hey, we both have Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and we can both tell you that when you want long-lasting comfort and reliability, it's easy to trust Pella. Every piece is specifically constructed for you and your home. I know that from experience. Our front window specifically constructed, and it was a tricky one. and they made it a beautiful thing. Always designed with innovation, rigorously tested for quality and performance to last for years and years, and built to create long-term energy savings. And if you order by August 31st, which the clock is ticking, you get 0% interest for up to 5 years. Visit PellaWI.com today to find out more. More with Gabe Neitzel, our cousin sub of the day. Cousin subs, we believe in better. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Pizza lovers, when the craving hits, hit back with Pizza Hut's $5 crafted flats pizzas. Mark Tauscher here, and new at Pizza Hut. 5 bold, hand-stretched personal pizza recipes. 3 cheese, pepperoni duo, the ultimate, and for a limited time, chicken bacon ranch, and Nashville hot chicken. All just $5 each all day. Perfect for lunch, dinner, or game day. Order your $5 handcrafted flats at pizzahut.com or on the Pizza Hut app. And remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN.
Call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right. And naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything. From the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys. Tito's is known for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
Grassland Butter is built by tradition right here in Wisconsin. Grassland is family-owned and has been crafting butter for 5 generations. That's why at Grassland Butter, you're more than just an employee, you're family. The Wietrich family believes in supporting each other, growing together, and building a workplace where everyone feels valued. Your voice matters at Grassland Dairy. Your success is our success. Join a team where culture isn't just a buzzword, it's how we live every day. Check us out online at grassland.com. That's grassland.com.
Your first time driving a stick shift. The car, sporty. Your teacher, nervous. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Online Activation Zone, so you can easily shift your direct deposits from your old clunker of a bank to Associated Bank in just a few clicks. You've got this with Activation Zone from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Hey, it's John Hayes, owner of Goodman's Jewelers. Come in and discover the high standards, classic traditions, honesty, integrity, and elegance when you walk through our doors. For over 90 years, customers have returned again and again to our warm boutique setting. Trust me, because I've been there for over 40 of them. Whether it's time to come back or your first time in, stop by Goodman's Jewelers at 220 State Street today. Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
Hey, it's Riley Yauk. Stay in the know on area high school sports and follow ESPN Madison on social media for Prep Mania on Deck, each week's preview for the top games and events. Prep Mania on Deck is brought to you by Zimbrick Honda, a proud supporter of high school sports and local communities.
Get out this summer and experience Road America, America's national park of speed. Located conveniently between Green Bay and Milwaukee and Elkhart Lake, Road America is home to the legendary 4-mile 14-turn circuit that's hosted the world's best since 1955. Camp on site all weekend, enjoy state fair-style food, and bring the family. Kids 16 and under get in free with a paying adult. Don't miss Arian's Art on Wheels, September 12th through the 14th. Come for the experience, stay for the race. Get your tickets now at roadamerica.com.
Milwaukee baseball was born in the Emerald City, but any ties to the Pacific Northwest were cut loose decades ago. Pella has an interesting history as well. Born in Pella, Iowa, but their century-long history of crafting quality windows and doors there continues to this day. Designed with innovation and rigorously tested for quality and performance, get long-term energy savings and durability that lasts for years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Order by August 31st and get 0% interest for up to 5 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
is palpable. I don't know if it's well placed, but it's palpable. My buddy Aaron down in Arkansas texted me this morning right away. He did not demand breaking news from me, but he's getting his hopes up down there. I get it. A lot of people are. 844-770-3776. That is the Carbless Talk and Text line. We got to get to Bulaga on time-ish. So let's take a quick call. Let's talk to Zach in Sheboygan. Zach, good morning. Welcome to Wilde and Neitzel. Keith/Mark/Gabe. How you doing today?
Good morning. Doing great. How about you guys?
We're just Micah Parsons all the time, buddy. What do you think?
Well, I'm not too excited, but I'm hoping you guys can change that. The reason I'm not excited is because I was looking at the salary cap space, and this year we've got like $35 to $39 million, somewhere in that range, and I'm like, oh yeah, Micah Parsons, we can do it. But then I looked at next year, and we're staring down the barrel of like $1.5 million in salary cap space. So I just don't see the roadmap to get him, and if you could kind of walk me through it, I may be excited to get Micah.
All right, so it's a great question, but it's also a very, and I'm not here to judge, Zach, but it's also a very misleading question, right? Because, like, Jordan Love's cap number for next year is $36 million, I want to say. Rashawn Gary's is like 28. Kenny Clark's is really high, I think, too, Gabe. And so, you know, we've talked about Elton Jenkins, right? Elton Jenkins, I think his cap number is $24 million. He's not going to be on this team at $24 million as a cap number. Like, if he plays great and Goody wants to actually keep a guy who's had his 30th birthday, they're going to restructure or extend and push that money out so he's not costing them $24 million on the cap. So all those guys, Gabe, with those big numbers, you're going to do something to bring them down. I think Aaron Banks, if I remember his contract, it's like a really big number for his second year of his deal because they basically were hedging on him as well, and now he's got a back issue that we don't know how severe it is. So it's a little misleading to be looking at the 26 cap today, right?
And look, I don't pay attention to the cap all that much. Because teams, especially ever since COVID, and they've added the void years and they're able to circumvent the cap, like the only team that hasn't figured out how to work around the cap is the New Orleans Saints, who somehow every year start like $50 million in the hole and have to dig their way out of there. But everybody else has figured out how to add on void years or the way they structure contracts like you were just talking about, Jason. Most teams are going to be able to work around that. And if there is a deal, so yeah, the Packers sitting there with $30 million in cap space this year, they're going to figure out how to work a Micah Parsons deal onto the cap. Because the thing is, while you're going to see the number that the agent wants you to see, $45 million annual average value. Okay, Jordan Love's is what, $55 million annual average value? And his salary cap number is $36 million? So even though you see this big number of 45, that the cap hit that you're ever going to take, it can figure out how to work around what the number their books in any given year.
Yeah, the cap number, for instance, with, let's just use Jordan Love as an example, $55 million a year average. His cap number for this year is $29.7 million. Okay? So, again, and look, if you've got that much
I'm not
cap
good at math.
I know you're not. It's part of your charm.
But that's a long way from 50.
So we'll see. Again, we'll see how this plays out. But, again, if you want to get your hopes up, I'm all for it. I'm here to support you in having your hopes get high. We need to get to Bryan Bulaga. Jesse, do you have a quick text you wanted to read?
Sure, let's go to Ian and East Troy on the text line. He's good over there. We're all getting hoodwinked. Daily Cowboys talk. Micah, I'm sure, is driving more traffic to his podcast with being the main topic every day. He'll sign his extension next week, and all this talk will be for naught. Ian and East
probably.
Troy.
Look, I don't think this is Micah.
I don't think that's happening. I used to be in that camp that he'll sign that contract next week. But again, basing it off of what Adam Schefter told us last week in his weekly Wednesday visit with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, it doesn't seem like that's going to be a likely scenario. If Micah Parsons plays in next week, in 8 days, when the Cowboys open up against the Eagles, chances are it's going to be on the current number that he's playing on in his fifth-year option and not some big mega deal that he finally decided to accept from Jerry Jones and the Cowboys.
But, yeah, Ian, we may all be getting hoodwinked, which is a great word, by the way. I don't know, but it's fun, and it's okay to have fun once in a while. By the way, the Packers made 38 roster moves yesterday to get down to the 53-man limit. Not that you would know that from today's program because we are talking about Micah Parsons at this juncture, but there have been...
They signed a big extension yesterday, too?
Well, from what I understand, Matt Orzech was going to hold out on the eve of the start of the season. Pull a Sterling Sharp, because that's what long snappers are capable of doing. All right, we need to get to Bulaga. I want to remind you before that, though, that you need to shop Steinhaffel's biggest Labor Day sale ever. Labor Day's finally here, but the sale's been going on for a while, and now's your chance to save 10% store-wide or take advantage of 36-month, 0% interest financing. And check this out. Get a queen bed for just $489, a dining room table for just $599, and big savings on Tempur-Pedic adjustable base sets, up to $700 off with 60-month, 0% financing. Steinhaffel's is Wisconsin's go-to for furniture and mattresses, so shop in-store or online anytime at steinhaffels.com. Bryan Bulaga, Iowa, joins us next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is our crew.
Flair, shallow center. Here's the throw from Perkins. It is going to be in time! Blake Perkins says goodnight.
Madison's home for Milwaukee Brewers baseball. 100.5 ESPN.
Mark Tauscher here for Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie, the name you can trust. As we count down the days to kickoff of the college and pro football seasons, you may be planning those last few weekend road trips before we get back into our fall routines. And if that's the case, remember to stop by and see the reliable service team at Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie before you hit the road. There is no better vehicle service team than the team I trust over at Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie. You can get a tune-up, check the battery, check your tires, change the oil, and make sure all the inner workings of your vehicle are in tip-top shape so you can focus on the fun of getting from place to place for whatever your next adventure holds and not allowing vehicle trouble to disrupt you. Schedule a service appointment, view vehicle inventory, and learn more about all they have to offer at ZimbrickChevrolet.com. That's ZimbrickChevrolet.com. There's only so much time left in the summer. Don't let vehicle trouble take a second of it away from you. Trust the fantastic service team at Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie, the name you can trust.
ESPN Madison is your home for Wisconsin Badgers volleyball.
Underneath it, bump set, left side, powers it down. What a rally, and Wisconsin comes out on top.
From early season showdowns to a run for the national title, hear every match this season on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Blocked by Bucky.
Wisconsin Badgers volleyball on ESPN Madison is presented by Steinhaffel's and Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Also brought to you by Northwestern Mutual of Southern Wisconsin.
GRB Academy is baseball for the serious player. Over the past 15 years, GRB has been Wisconsin's top destination for player development and advancement, including over 468 college commitments and 27 MLB draft picks. Their facility in Windsor is the home of GRB Rays baseball and features over 52,000 square feet of elite baseball training. Tryouts for the 2026 summer season begin July 22nd. Find full training programs and register now at grbacademy.com.
Hey ESPN Wisconsin fans, Bryan Bulaga here for Surfside. Summer is heating up and there's nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold Surfside iced tea and vodka or Surfside lemonade and vodka to break the heat. Made with real brewed tea and real vodka, Surfside is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy no matter what your plans are this weekend. Look for the can with the sunset stripes, sold at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
Milwaukee baseball was born in the Emerald City, but any ties to the Pacific Northwest were cut loose decades ago. Pella has an interesting history as well, born in Pella, Iowa, but their century-long history of crafting quality windows and doors there continues to this day. Designed with innovation and rigorously tested for quality and performance, get long-term energy savings and durability that lasts for years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Order by August 31st and get 0% interest for up to 5 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Hey, it's Isaac Miller, junior defensive end in high school. 14 Division I offers. Yep, 1-4. Wisconsin, Michigan, Florida, Miami, you name it. Everyone's asking, where's Isaac going? Well, I'll tell you this. It's going to be big, it's going to be loud, and it's going to be legendary. But first, I'm hitting the weight room in my Iron Jock gear. Because no matter what logo I wear next, Iron Jock is how I get there. Stay tuned and go to ironjock.com. That's ironjoc.com.
It's the summer sales event at Metro Ford Madison, and the deals are still heating up. Drive home in a 2024 Ford F-150, Bronco Sport, or Mach-E with 0% APR for 48 months, $20.83 per $1,000 finance. But wait, there's more! Get a 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty on new vehicles and 90 days with no payments with approved credit. But hurry, these hot offers end September 2nd. Head to Metro Ford Madison today and visit metrofordmadison.com.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
I've got some famous friends you probably never heard of, but back in Rutherford County, our crowd is second to none. You might not know them here in this big city we're in, but when I go back home, I've got some famous friends. Yeah, I do.
It is amazing how certain songs then become a trigger for you wherever you are. Like if I hear Andy Grammer in the grocery store, I think, oh, it's time for the 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch. I heard this song at Lambeau, and I'm looking around. Where's Bryan Bulaga? This is walk-up music. He's right here. Bryan, good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
We're great. Hey, Micah Parsons is a Packer. What? No, not yet. Are you, having been born and bred as an NFL player in the Ted Thompson era, and having been on the team when, poof, Julius Peppers was suddenly on the team, are you getting your hopes up, or are you stay calm, keep calm, and carry on, not expecting anything to come of this?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not getting my hopes up. I'll put it that way. I read something yesterday. I guess there's like a Reddit rumor. Is that what I saw?
Yeah, and then Ricky fella.
A Reddit third-hand rumor. Yeah. Reddit third hand. I feel like that's an important detail.
Yeah, so like that, normally, listen, like I'm not discrediting when hey, because we also it happened at GameStop, right? Like Reddit is normal. Some things can be powerful with Reddit, right? So like I'm not like discrediting anything with Reddit, right? Like sometimes big things.
Diamond hands. Hold on to those Micah Parsons rumors, everybody.
Yeah, like sometimes big things happen with Reddit, but when it comes to like sports rumors and trades and contracts, I haven't seen too many that have come to fruition as of yet. But knowing the Green Bay Packers and how they operate, I'm not sure this one like is going to come to fruition, because I don't know if you guys have discussed this yet. Maybe you have. I'm not sure what the package is going to be to give that up, plus the 45 or whatever it may be in salary. I know, Gabe, I got on right before you guys were discussing it. I know the 45 in year in principle is just the number the agent would report, and what it actually is what it is. But it's the guaranteed dollar, right, that you're giving up is going to be immense, right? That'll be an immense number that they will have to commit. And what they'll give up in picks plus that number, it's just Green Bay just has never done that, right? Like that's completely out of character. And will they do that? And will Jerry do that? And that's, those two things together is what I don't know, and it hasn't happened in Green Bay. I mean, I guess you could say it
hasn't happened anywhere, Blue. Like, it hasn't happened anywhere because a guy like this doesn't become available. Typically, a guy like this, you don't have two sides butting heads where you have one side and Jerry Jones. Oh, I've got 3 years to figure this out. Now there's a grievance that Micah has filed because for his fifth-year option, the Cowboys said he's a defensive end. He thinks he's a linebacker. There's about a $3 million difference for what his salary would be for that this year. So, I mean, these two sides are constantly butting heads because typically a player of Micah's, when he's 26 years old, a guy like this, he gets locked up and nobody even dreams of potentially trading for him.
Yeah, I mean, and this is the problem with Jerry. Like, Jerry Jones normally does this, right? Like, we've seen it over the last few years with like his big time players, right? Like, you've seen it with CeeDee Lamb last year, and then Dak the year prior, and it was Zach Martin the year prior before that. Like, you know, you're normally used to seeing him push these things towards the end of camp, and then it's done. This one's different, right? This one's been different kind of from the start of camp. Like, obviously, Parsons is not happy, really unhappy, right? And then it comes out with he's trying to negotiate with the player and telling the agent to, you know what, off, which is just right away the NFLPA. Right when that comes out, the NFLPA should be jumping right in and right away, grievances should be filed immediately. And Jason, this circles right back around to our PA is bad. And when you have a bad PA, this is what happens, right? Like, when you have no leadership in your PA, this is what happens. And, you know, I feel bad for Parsons because, you could say what you want about D. Smith. This wouldn't have happened with D. Smith. I'm just saying it wouldn't have happened.
You're right.
So, this is just this is a product of the PA, but also, I mean, Jerry Jones is Jerry Jones. But to flip this back around to the Packers, if this gets done, right, enormous. I wouldn't believe it until I see him there next to Goody and LaFleur at 1265 actually. Yep. You know, holding up his little jersey, and I wouldn't believe it. But it would change the outlook of this team tremendously. And it's hard for me to say that about one player on a team, right? I mean, there's 11 guys on the field at a time. And I get that, right? One guy can't, but what one guy can do on a defensive side of the ball is pretty immense. And from that pass rushing position, we talked about it when there was the Myles Garrett rumors and things like that. It's pretty immense what one guy can do. And this guy's special, and he's young, and he can do multiple things. He can play the linebacker position, so to speak, right? Stand up. And he obviously can put his hand in the dirt. He can do a bunch of different things, and Hafley's super creative. So this would be an unbelievable get if it does come to fruition.
As a guy whose job it was to protect Aaron Rodgers from guys like Micah Parsons, put yourself in Goody's seat here. You've got what you believe to be a really good team. Again, going to be the youngest team in the league, right? 2 30-somethings. One's the kicker, the other's the long snapper. Kenny Clark will celebrate his 30th birthday before the end of the season. So will Elton Jenkins. And then neither of them will be on the team next year, probably. You know that the new team president has said, we're not going to extend Goody and LaFleur. We're going to play it out for this year. I don't believe in lame ducks. So they're going to have to either give him a 1-year bump after this season if he doesn't feel good enough about giving him a multi-year deal, or if things go to hell, start over. Are you doing this? Whatever the price tag is, if it's Rashawn Gary, a couple of first-round picks, and maybe another pick, are you doing this? Are you willing to say, I'm pushing all my chips into the middle of the table against Teddy KGB and hoping that he has to say back to me, pay that man his money? The thing about risking
everything, right? So like risking everything, and when I say risking everything, like you're talking about draft capital and then players too, right? So like now you're saying now we're talking like players as well and capital. That makes it a little bit of a different dynamic, but I'm sure Dallas would ask for something like that in return. I would guess. I mean, I would think so. I if I'm Goody, I probably would think about that very hard and consider it at a very high level.
You just simply, can't do it. You sound like me. I would think about that very hard and consider it at a high level. Yes or no, like, Bulaga?
Well, like err on the side of yes. Err on the side of yes.
I've had such bad influence on you.
You can't even say yes or no.
What have I done to you, man? This is all my fault. I've turned you into a hedger.
Okay, so like this is the thing. Like this is the only reason why I say this, right? Because like here's the thing, right? So if you say it is Rashawn Gary, right? Like so say it's multiple picks and Rashawn Gary for and what is it like 2 1s?
Sure,
2 ones, 2 1,
2
ones,
and something else in Rashawn.
Yeah. Okay, so you do that and you send them there and you get Parsons, right? And say something happens to Micah, right? Say he is, then I guess you're right back in the same position you would be if something happens to Rashawn, right? Like, so like I just play this out in my mind, like I don't know, like is all that giving up all that potentially worth it? And obviously then you have Parsons then for the future, right? Like, I mean, that's obviously really worth it because are you going to find a Micah Parsons in the first round the next year or the next year? Probably not. Like that's very rare to find that player. And that's always what, at least when I look at giving up first round picks, I always go, are you going to find a player like that in the first round? Right, like when you give up ones and like say you trade for Myles Garrett or you trade for say Micah Parsons, it's like, are you going to find that guy in the first round?
Probably, at the bottom of the first round, right? Because you expect to win.
Yeah.
So at
chances
27,
are no.
28, probably not.
Yeah. Chances are no. You are not going to find him there. So like, might as well just give that pick up to get that player. And to me, that's why I would probably, I mean, I would do it. And like, that's,
I mean, you're hedging. Okay. So like with this package that Jason and you guys just proposed, like I'm saying in a heartbeat, like at what point, I mean, I guess you're uncomfortable with this. Like you could say 3 first-round picks and I'm like, yeah, I'm still in. Because I think that's how special Micah Parsons is. I understand where you're coming from, Blue, in terms of the injury thing, but isn't that true for any team with any injury? I mean, the depth of that kind of talent across the league isn't exactly there. So if you have one of those guys in your locker room, yeah, injuries are part of the game. They happen. They're unfortunate when they do, but I guess I don't think about, well, what if this guy gets hurt? What if Jordan Love gets hurt? They're not going to win I mean, Malik Willis was great. They're not winning a Super Bowl with Malik Willis.
No, okay. So, like, I get that, right? So, while I'm on board with that, you give up 3 1s. Unfortunately, there are going to be down the line other positions of need on this team that need addressed, right? Like, and that's the thing. Like, and I'm not saying all first round picks hit, right? Like, and I'm certainly not saying that. And Goody's been pretty good with like second, third, and fourth round picks. Actually, like that's kind of been his sweet spot. To be honest with you, is he's been
maybe
really
not
good
third round picks, other than Tucker Kraft. But yes,
second and
your
fourth.
point as well. Your point is well
yeah,
taken.
but like that's kind of where he's been really good at. But that's the thing. Like it's seeing down the line that I mean we're going to see that. Obviously, the receiver room got addressed, and obviously guys are coming up on deals there. The line is losing guys this year, and we're going to see how that works itself out. Coming up here soon. The DB room, we're going to see how that shakes itself out this year. And what are you going to have to do to that room depending on how it plays, how that looks. There's just certain things that when you give up that many picks, how do you restock the room? Because, like, as we all know, like, we can't continue all the time going to free agency and just splashing cash, because, like, that's obviously not Green Bay's, like, motto. We all know that. Like, that's not how they do things. I don't think that's how we, as a team and as a fan base, right? Like, sure, we want to be able to go get guys. Like, we want to be able to bring in good players. That's a good thing. But we're not it's never been a franchise that just goes out and constantly just buys players. This is a draft and develop type organization, and that's what they've hung their hat on forever, and that's why they've always been able to potentially do this type of Micah Parsons deal, because they're financially very stable and they're able to do these things. But again, like, that's if that is like the deal on the table, right? That's why I would say,
we don't even know if there is the deal on the table. Let's make sure we say that. We don't even know if that's there.
No, I have no idea. And, like, it's with Jerry saying that, like, I got him for 3 years, to Stephen A. Smith or whatever he said to him on that interview, which was really weird. And as he grabs his hand, like, I thought that was very weird. I don't know what that guy's thinking. I have no idea what Jerry Jones is thinking. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what he's thinking. I have no idea the play. Like, and the thing is, like, is Micah Parsons, like, Week 1 is pretty close. Like, they go to Philly here pretty soon. There's no way that guy puts on a helmet and goes out there. Like, there's no way. So, like, what is the strategy here? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what's about to happen? Like, that's what makes this all so fun. It's fun, but for Cowboys fans, like, daunting, I think.
Let's leave Fantasyland. And when we come back with Bryan, let's talk about the cuts. Because while this has been fun, and I will be the first to admit that I have been fully all in on the fun this morning after my tweets begging me to break the news that wasn't happening, I would like to talk about the roster, because yesterday was the cut-down day, and a lot of things happened. Not a lot of sexy things, not a lot of surprising things, but a lot of things worth talking about with Bryan Bulaga. We'll talk about that coming up after I talk about Lakeland Supply, one of our great new partners. They've been on board for a couple months now, and I love telling you about them because they are all about their core values. And core values are an important piece to any successful business, and Lakeland Supply is no different. They've been displaying their core values in the industrial supply space for over 40 years. Integrity, excellence, stewardship, partnership, and faith. They're ISO certified, a Future 50 winner, top rated in customer satisfaction, and they believe in giving back to the community. Lakeland isn't one of those catalog companies. They work to be your packaging and supply expert, building plans around what you want. Lakeland Supply is in business to make your business better. So set up a free packaging and supply chain assessment at lakelandsupply.com. More with Bryan Bulaga next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Bryan Bulaga on Wilde and Tausch is brought to you by Surfside. Surfside iced tea and vodka and Surfside lemonade and vodka. It's light, refreshing, and has zero bubbles. It's perfect for a day on the golf course or a day at American Family Field. Cheers to Surfside.
Mark Toscher here, reminding you that there is no better product and no better taste than Grassland Dairy. Well, the run of success for baseball in Milwaukee has been pretty great for almost a decade now, with another trip to the postseason looking like a great possibility this year. But that's nothing compared to the run of success Grassland Dairy has had, serving up delicious taste and high-quality butter since 1904. That is over 5 generations. Grassland's commitment to quality and excellence starts with the way farmers care for their cows and carries through every step of the process. They are proud to offer a wide range of reliable, delicious, nutritious dairy ingredients as they have for all these years. Butter better with better butter. There is no better product and no better taste than Grassland butter. Grassland Dairy, crafting butter for 5 generations. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by your Badgerland Chevy dealers, proud supporters of Badger Athletics. Go to BadgerlandChevy.com. Week 1 has arrived. 19 newcomers featured in the season's opening 2-deep depth chart. Luke Fickell hoping the pieces in place step up. The head coach sharing more in his Week 1 press conference.
there's a lot of unknown. It can help in a lot of ways. You got a lot of older guys. I mean, we got 30-some guys, 32, 34 guys that are technically in their last year of college football, which would entail make you a very old team, but yet very few of them have played together for significant time. And so with that being said, there's a lot of unknown.
Wisconsin a 17.5-point favorite over the Red Hawks, an 8 p.m. kickoff under the Camp Randall lights.
For long-lasting comfort and reliability, our craftsmen make it easy to trust Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Right now, get 0% interest for up to 5 years at PellaWI.com.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
From color-changing alexandrite to shimmering zircon and everything in between at Chalmers Jewelers, you'll find high-quality, affordable, one-of-a-kind pieces. We source straight from the gem cutters, and we manufacture in-house from start to finish. As the manufacturer, we believe in truth in pricing. Never pay more for quality and stunning, beautiful jewelry. She's one of a kind, and so should her jewelry be. While others may send your jewelry dreams to someone else to make, with us, your dreams become reality with the help of our custom jewelers, with you involved the whole way. With a staff that has over 200 years of combined experience, why buy from a place that marks up jewelry made by the thousands? When you can buy direct from Chalmers for that one-of-a-kind piece that is better quality, often for less.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
Hi, I'm attorney David Gruber. After an accident, you need a trusted winning team on your side. For more than 30 years, Gruber Law Offices has helped Wisconsin families get the results they deserve. If you've been injured, call our firm today for a free consultation. We're available 24/7. Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
All day, every day. The Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
ESPN Madison and Zimbrick Honda are celebrating the area's best high school sports stories with the Game Changers of the Month. Follow ESPN Madison on social media to see the teams recognized for making a positive impact in the community. It's the Game Changers of the Month, presented by Zimbrick Honda.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
I've got some famous friends you probably never heard of, but back in Rutherford County, our crowd is second to none. You might not know them here in this big city we're in, but when I go back home, I've got some famous friends. Yeah, I do.
You're going to get to hear this song a third time because out of the kindness of his dumb old heart, Bryan Bulaga has agreed to take one question from each of us, take our 2-minute break at the top of the 10 o'clock hour, which has already passed, and then come back for a little more of Wilde and Neitzel, previously known as Wilde and Tausch. All right, my question for you, Bryan, about the cuts is this, and then Gabe will ask one, and then we'll take a break, and then we'll pepper you with more questions. I was under the impression that Rich Bisaccia not only was the special teams coordinator and not only was the assistant head coach, I also thought he had an uncredited role as the assistant GM. Right? Because they seemed to really listen to him. They didn't keep Corey Ballantyne. They didn't keep Isaiah Simmons. They didn't keep Christian Welch. They kept Bo Melton. He likes Bo. But it strikes me that maybe either the interest in veteran players who know how to play special teams, or just we're not going to listen to Rich anymore. It's hard not to think that after I saw the roster come out. I understand that I am biased toward another one of my favorite Iowa alums, Christian Welch, who I don't know what this guy's got to do to make this roster after the last 2 years. What do you make of the way this roster shook out from a veteran and a special teams perspective?
Yeah, I mean, from a special teams perspective, it's going to be interesting to see who lines up where, right? I mean, you what they've done essentially is like the core guys, the guys that you would expect to be, besides obviously Melton, right? I mean, he is like the number one special teamer, which I mean that's not a negative connotation. That is, I mean, that's an earned role. Like he is the guy, but the other core special teamers, they're gone, right? Like the guys that you'd expect to be like the guys that you rely on, you lean on, that are on every team, they're gone. So I'm not too sure what guys are going to be stepping up now and filling those roles. And so now you essentially, and I get there's 53 guys, right? I mean, it's a full roster, but when you do those types of things, you expect to now dip into guys that are potential starter type players to fill those roles. You have to start looking at guys that may be playing or that are maybe not full-time starters, but that get significant play time that are going to fill those types of roles. And there's always risk with that, right? There's always some, coaches get a little, do we want him to run down on kickoff, or do we want him to cover punts, or, like there's always a little bit of that. But when you relieve guys that are, and relieve guys of duty that do those things, that's your option, right? That's what you have to do. And it's unfortunate because I think like guys like Welch and guys that are really good at those things, they hold value, right? They're core type players on the teams, and they take their job seriously. They take a lot of pride in that work. And sometimes, and this is, I mean, I'm not trying to generalize it, when you start pulling guys that are just starters and all they do is offense, defense, and that's all, like, there's not as much pride in that work when you put them on teams, right? They don't care as much. If they don't have a solid rep on teams, they're like, whatever. I gotta go on defense or offense. So like, whatever, it is what it is, right? And it gets a little sloppy, right? And that drives special teams coaches nuts. Like it really does. So that's the only thing that I kind of look at from a negative side of that happening, unfortunately. But we'll see how that pans out.
How concerned are you about the depth of the offensive line?
I'm concerned, even with the addition, right? Even with the trade they made and things like that. So before they made the trade, I was obviously, Jason, you and I had talked about it. I've talked about it with Homer. Very concerned, right? Like, and very concerned because Banks wasn't practicing, right? So like you look at it, Banks not practicing. Jordan Morgan goes in at left guard. Who's the sixth man? It's obviously Belton, right? And Belton's only been playing right tackle. I mean, that's all he's been doing. He's playing right tackle. Yeah. He's had his ups and downs as we've seen throughout camp. But when your sixth man only plays one position, that's a little bit of a problem. So say something else happens to another player in that starting five. Well, now you're changing everything up and mixing bodies everywhere, which is an issue. Okay, so now we make the trade, bring in a guy that is more versatile, right? That is he's a little bit more of a jack of all trades. He can go play guard, he can play tackle, an experienced player, which is good, right? And we're assuming that Banks is going to be healthy. At least I'm assuming that.
That's going to be, Brian, that's going to be one of my first questions today. We got Goody at 2, we got LaFleur at 225. And I think that's we'll see at practice at 3:15 if he's out there. But the question has to be asked, how much of a concern is Banks' back? Because this is clearly not just soft beds and Indy that is at work here.
No. So, like, if he has a back issue, right, that is going to be a concern, right? So say he misses time and it's Jordan Morgan that's going at left guard for a significant amount of time. And The sixth man is, I keep forgetting his name because we just brought him in. I have to dial
his
that
name
in.
is Kennard, but I don't blame you for forgetting his name. Yeah, it's great. He's related to Dolly Parton, and he's got 3 Super Bowl championship rings. He's also started 1 game in the NFL. Like, this is not like you brought in, one of those savvy veteran guys who has played all the different spots and started 60 games as a journeyman. This is a guy that has barely played.
Yeah. So you bring him in as the 6th guy now, but then what's behind that is still my question, right? Like, you normally and like, listen, I get that having depth is a hard thing on the offensive line in the NFL, because if it was that easy, every team would be 8 deep, right? Every team would be that way. And it's difficult. But when you have 6 guys max, it's tough sledding, man. Like, it really is. And you're not totally sure what position guys can go to, right? Like, and if a guy gets hurt and then you got to mix and match guys, and guys have to move spots to fill in spots, and you're changing, kind of the way, the lineup looks, it makes things more difficult, right? Like, it really does. And then you're changing pieces within the game. If something happens, like, it makes things more complicated. And that's why I'm a little concerned about it, right? And if Belton is able to come along throughout the season, right, if he's able to develop it throughout practice and get more comfortable and get better, which we won't be able to see that, right? We won't know that. Jason won't even be able to know that, right? I mean, he'll be at practice, but like, that's not something we'll be able to see, and we won't be able to know that. But if he's able to develop and get better, then I'll feel a lot better about it as the season, continues on and we get to the middle part, and we got 7 guys that we feel pretty good about, right? 7 or 8, because I'm assuming then Banks is back and Jordan, then we got 8 guys that, like, okay, I feel good about that. But like, I'm sitting on the thought that we got 6 guys, and that is not a great feeling. It just isn't a great feeling.
More with Bryan Bulaga coming up, because he's foolish enough when I ask him to do me a favor to do it. I want to remind you, American Family Insurance has been with Wilde and Tausch from the beginning, and they've been rolling with the Brewers during all their success this summer. Your dream game day starts at the parking lot patio, located near the clock tower entrance outside American Family Field. Parking lot patio is your go-to pregame hang out, play yard games, grab free giveaways. It's free, it's fun, and it's open to fans of all ages. So stop by before the next home game. Parking Lot Patio, presented by American Family Insurance. More with Bryan Bulaga in 2 minutes, so stick around.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
This is Wisconsin Volleyball National Champion Devin Robinson. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson, Sports Center, brought to you by Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison for generations. Check them out, 220 State Street, and online at goodmansjewelers.com. The Milwaukee Brewers, 9-8 winners in a walk-off last night over the Arizona Diamondbacks at American Family Field. Good news is the Brewers won. Isaac Collins with the game-winning sacrifice fly in the bottom of the 9th inning. Bad news is the Brewers had a 6-0 lead with the Miz on the mound, but the Diamondbacks, for the second straight night, had a comeback down 6-0. Monday night, they got to 6-5 before the Brewers pulled away. Last night, they tied the game at 8 before the Brewers were able to get the victory. See if it's as thrilling tonight. 6:40, first pitch for Game 3 of the 4-game set. Pre-game coverage starts just after 6 o'clock, following Jim, Matt, and Molly right here on Madison's home of the Brewers, 100.5 ESPN. Quinn Priester on the mound, so the Brewers are going to win. That's how that works. Football, the Green Bay Packers trimmed the roster down to 53 active players yesterday. No significant surprises, but a full breakdown from ESPN Packers reporter Rob Domofsky over at ESPNWisconsin.com. Bryan Bulaga talking all about it. Plus, those Micah Parsons trade rumors. Wilde and Tausch continues right now.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. And hey, Bryan Bulaga is still here. Thank you, Bryan. We appreciate you. Again, I wasn't surprised by much of anything. I was disappointed for Christian Welch. I don't get that. And again, it's not my job to root for people, but I feel like I can both like the guy and think that there should have been a spot on the roster for the guy. I don't think my feelings are influencing that, but even then, I'm not overly surprised by that. Did anything that happened yesterday come as even a mild surprise to you? Like, I'm sorry, Isaiah Simmons did not turn out to be who I thought he was going to be. So I was not surprised by that at all. Did anything jump out at you?
Not really, right? Like, I mean, I think you look at it from top to bottom, and I mean, Simmons had every opportunity, right? They gave him a ton of opportunities to, like, make the team, right? Like, I mean, they gave him every shot, right? Gave him play time in all the preseason games. He started right against the Jets game,
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was linebacker one out there. So he had all the ops. Unfortunately, it just really, I mean, it didn't pan out, and that's the way things go. Hardman, you know, when that signing happened, I think when we were talking about that, Jason, we were talking when that happened. That was in the summer? When they did that signing,
Yep.
was that in the spring?
It was in the spring, but still, it was. Yep.
Yeah, I remember they did that signing. I was on with you and Tausch, and we talked about it. And we said at that point in time, like, you know, it's a 50-50 if that signing is going to stick or not, right? Like, we'll see how it goes through camp. And, you know, he had to do something, like, he had to be really, really, really good through camp with that wide receiver room to make the team. And it, you know, he might have had a solid camp, but you have to have a really good camp with that wide receiver room. And then they draft 2 wide receivers on top of it. It's just really difficult then to break through on that. So I just, you know, from an overall standpoint, no, there's nothing really that shocked me. Who do you know who they brought back on P Squad yet? Has that list been announced yet, or not yet?
Not yet. We have 44 minutes until the waiver wire has closed. Now, I saw a few people float the possibility of McCole Hardman if he doesn't have any other options, because he's a vested veteran, so he's not subject to waivers, of him coming back on the practice squad, and then they can elevate him, you know, for some games and what have you. But we won't know for another 45 minutes who's been claimed and who hasn't. Again, I'm not sure there are many guys that they released yesterday that they have to worry about not being available to them, to the practice squad. But it'll be interesting because I still think that there are some holes to fill. The biggest question I have is whether or not they're going to claim anyone. And someone like Donovan Jennings, who made the roster, is then going to not be on the roster, right? Because we've seen that happen a couple times where you make the initial 53 and guys are very excited, and then they claim someone, and someone's got to go. And that's got to be the worst feeling in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough, right? I mean, like, you're in a position group and, 53 get made and, you normally, after the 53 is done, right? Normally the roster set, you normally have a meeting with your position group, right? And you see all the guys and, your buddies, and then, next day someone's gone because someone got claimed. You're like, what happened? And well, that's normal. And it's a tough deal, man. Like someone gets released because, they thought someone on waivers was a better fit. It's a tough deal, but listen, man, like unfortunately that's the way things go in the NFL, right? And whether or not it's the right move, that remains to be seen. But you look at the roster, right? Like you look at what they have. To me right now, the position we talked about O-line, which I still think if they're the linemen floating around on waivers that you think could add depth, I would do it. That's just me though, right? Like that's my personal opinion. I mean, they may not agree with me at 1265. That's okay. I'm fine with that. But if there's a DB floating around, like if there's someone you like at corner or as we call it now, I guess, because those guys back there, the way they are, they're playing all different positions in the secondary. If there's someone you like, I would potentially add back there, right? Just to feel secure about what you have back there, I would just add, because like I feel like that group, you just never know, right? Like I feel like that's kind of like that group is like offensive linemen. If you have you can never have too many good or solid guys, right? That's how you feel about DBs and linemen. Like if you could have solid players, just keep bringing them in, because like you never know when they're going to be needed and used. And I just feel like if you are that secondary right now, I mean, yeah, you have your solid guys that you feel really good about, right? I mean, I don't think I have to name the guys, but you just feel like if there's an injury that happens for longer than a couple weeks, you feel like the cupboard could be a little bare, right? Like you feel like there could be some trouble, and that's not a good feeling to have. I see it on every commercial break, the schedule that you look at, like, because that group of receivers that this team's face is murderer's row. I mean, let's just be real about it. That's a murderer's row of receivers, and that, I mean, it is what it is, man. But like, you look up and down that schedule and the receiving groups that you see, like you could talk about the worst team, right? They got good receivers. Like, it's tough. It's tough.
So if you're uncomfortable with the depth at corner, and now they've also released McCole Hardman, I would assume that means Keyshawn Nixon at least is going to be starting back there with some of the other injuries at returning kicks. How comfortable are you with your top cornerback now returning kicks?
I don't love that.
With Nate Hobbs coming back from a knee injury on top of that, Gabe.
Yeah.
Yep. Worth noting.
Yeah. So is he coming? So is Hobbs like okay to come back? Is he like actually coming back, or?
They said playing in the opener was the target when he had the surgery. I don't know if you've had a meniscus in your history. They said it was a small tear that they trimmed out. But again, I don't know. Like, you could say that. You could say that's the goal. Let's see if he's do I expect him to be practicing today when we're out there at 3:15? No, I do not. Could he be practicing next week on Monday when they come back and practice? Maybe. But who knows?
Yeah. No, I had a meniscus. I was an idiot. I popped mine in 2015. You probably remember I got carted off before Seattle in the practice. I got it cut out, and then I played 2 weeks later against the Chargers at home right before the bye week. I was an idiot, but I did it. But I was
the Chargers
an idiot,
apparently liked what they saw.
Well, dude, that was 2015. I didn't sign for him. That was a while down the line before. I mean, I'm shocked they liked what they saw. When we played them out in 2019, I played awful. Dave and I got chewed up by Bosa and Ingram. But regardless, back to the question about the returner.
Yes.
Yeah. Back to me being an idiot, and back to the return game. No, I don't like that. To be honest with you, I don't. That's not something that like I think is a great idea, right? Like when your starting corner is returning kicks and things like that, and all it takes, man, and I'm not trying to put bad juju out there because I just don't like doing that. Like that's really bad, but it just takes one little thing, and like your starting guy could be down, right? And like that is just, it's just not worth it. It just really isn't. Because like, let's be real, how many kicks are being returned nowadays? So for the one-off that he does get,
they tweaked with it. Yeah, they tweaked the rule again, Blue, so they're trying to get more returns this year out of the kickoff game. I mean, I guess I'm less worried about punt. I'm assuming that's going to be Jaden Reed. Jason, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but that's more or less somebody you're comfortable with being able to go out there, fair catch it, and catch the football. Kickoff, they're trying to encourage more and more returns.
That's only because you're always pointing out how few snaps he plays, Gabe. That's why you're comfortable with him. By the way, with a foot injury, right? He's coming off of an injury of his own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm a little worried about that too, just because, again, you want someone you can trust who's going to at least catch the punt. You know, where you muff a punt, that can be a huge turnover, a huge game flipping. So I just want somebody that can throw their hand up and catch it. And I don't know, outside of Jaden Reed, who they trust doing that right now.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm that's the thing. Like when you, and this goes back to the special teams talk, right? Like this goes back to what I was saying. Like when you get rid of core special teams players and guys that's like what they do, it creates a little bit of a dilemma. Like that's what it does. Like now you're pulling starters to do these jobs, and it puts them at risk of doing their main job, right? Like, and that's a problem. Like, and nobody wants to lose a starting corner because the one time he got to return a kick in the game, he took it down the sideline and he didn't see some dude flying from the other side, and he gets whacked and he didn't see the guy, and he gets a concussion or something and he's out. And, like nobody wants to see that. Like, and that's just, I guess that's just me talking. Like that would be me as a player on that side. And like, I'd be like, what is he doing out there? That would be like, that would be my thought. It's like, why is Nixon returning kick? He's our starting corner and we're playing Justin Jefferson. Like what are we doing? Like that would be my thought. But again, that's former me. I guess I should look at this a little more like analyzing it, but like that but I'm not. Like I'm just looking at it like I would be if I was part of that team, because like I want the guys on the field that are gonna like be ready to go in their best positions and healthy and ready to go. Like, and I'm not minimizing special teams. I think it's important. It's a huge role in the game. It could impact the game. But, like, when we're talking returning, and the NFL has done their best to not have guys do that and, like, take that out of the game and minimize that impact. So putting one of our impact players from a defensive standpoint that is an important position to play that role, that maybe gets to return it once, maybe twice a game. I don't like it. You know what I mean? So like that it makes me a little nervous that he's going to do that.
I'm so glad I've been such a positive influence on you. You were a positive influence on me when I was covering you. You were always there for me when I had questions. Now I've turned you into a helicopter analyst and someone who hedges their opinions. I've never felt better about what I've accomplished with you as a friend. Bryan, thanks for sticking around some extra time. We really do appreciate it. Get the hell out of here, and I'll talk to you later in the week on the Homer Hour.
Who does Iowa play this weekend?
That's a good question. I'd have to check. I mean, these first weeks are like, does it matter?
To some of us, yeah.
You don't even know who's on your team.
Yeah, Jesse, it matters to you because like the over/under win total for you is 4.5. So yeah, it matters to you.
Thank you very much. 5.5.
Okay, so
good point.
So you need every one of these right now. So yes, it matters to you. I feel good about Iowa beating whoever they play this weekend.
We will check back in next week and see if those things have occurred. Brian, thanks, buddy. We appreciate you.
All right, guys, take care.
That is Bryan Bulaga, who has a running back and forth with Jesse, even though Jesse went to Bradley that doesn't have a football team. Jesse, you said 5.5 for the Badgers over-under for wins?
That is what it said at every sports book, including the Hard Rock, yes.
Oh, well, you know you're less than an hour away from the Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Maybe you should go down, if you're so confident, put a little money where your mouth is.
Perhaps I should. I was just there on Saturday for the ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day preseason special. And I get to do this a few times today, so here we go. Mark Tauscher here for Hard Rock Casino Rockford. The Hard Rock Casino Rockford features over 175,000 square feet of gaming and entertainment space, including more than 1,300 slot machines, 50 live table games, a sports book, and a rock shop. Hard Rock Casino Rockford showcases a museum-worthy collection of more than 500 pieces of authentic music memorabilia, including items from artists like Prince, Cheap Trick, Eddie Vedder, the Blues Brothers, and newly engaged Taylor Swift. The Hard Rock Live entertainment venue is a 2,300 square foot premium concert and event space, features more than 1,000 feet of LED screens to enhance the experience for up to 2,000 guests. Bradshaw was there. Jesse and his parents went to go see Terry a few weeks ago. Hard Rock Casino Rockford, a premier entertainment destination just off I-90 in Rockford, Illinois.
More with Gabe Neitzel, our cousin sub of the day. Cousin subs, we believe in better. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
The search for luxury begins at Audi Madison. Save $5,500 when you purchase or lease a new 2025 Audi Q7 55. National customer credit is good toward the purchase, finance, or lease of a new Audi, but is only available until September 2nd. Stop in and test drive today. Check out AudiMadison.com to see current inventory and specials. Start your adventure at Audi Madison today, off the Beltline and Rimrock Road.
Milwaukee baseball was born in the Emerald City, but any ties to the Pacific Northwest were cut loose decades ago. Pella has an interesting history as well. Born in Pella, Iowa, but their century-long history of crafting quality windows and doors there continues to this day. Designed with innovation and rigorously tested for quality and performance, get long-term energy savings and durability that lasts for years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Order by August 31st and get 0% interest for up to 5 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Baseball is back. Bryan Bulaga here to bring you a proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka and Surfside Lemonade and Vodka. A delicious and perfect pairing for a day at the ballpark. Stocked at American Family Field all season long. Surfside is only 100 calories per serving, and the best part, 0 bubbles. Ask for it at your local bar or liquor store. Surfside, an official partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Must be 21 years of age. Please drink responsibly.
ESPN Madison is your home for Wisconsin Badgers volleyball.
Underneath it, bump set, left side, powers it down. What a rally, and Wisconsin comes out on top.
From early season showdowns to a run for the national title, hear every match this season on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Blocked by Bucky.
Wisconsin Badgers volleyball on ESPN Madison is presented by Steinhoffels and Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Also brought to you by North and South Seafood and Smokehouse.
One call, that's all. It's not just a slogan, but a way of life at Gruber Law Offices.
If you've been injured, call our team today. We've represented tens of thousands of injured Wisconsinites for well over 30 years. Trust Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Listen to Madison Money Guy every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN and ESPNWisconsin.com.
I like to refer to inflation as the silent killer. It's an invisible risk. It's just the idea that things get more expensive over time. You're going to need milk and eggs when you're in your early 60s and when you're in your early 80s. You're going to get a loaf of bread, and it's going to be more expensive 20 years from now.
Christian Finfrock is the Madison Money Guy. Call him today at 208-1800.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, old T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, I mean, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
I say go, baby, go, go, go. Oh, I say go till you can't go. No more, no more. I say go, baby, go, go, go. I've been to a place where the drifters go. It brought me trouble, yeah, it brought me low. Time was flying, but I was rooted in my blues. When I looked up, all I saw was myself. Standing in my own way, nobody else but me. Can't set me free. So now when
Thanks
I'm
as always to Bryan Bulaga, who always stays longer than he's scheduled to appear. We always appreciate that, even if Jesse gets after him about his Hawkeyes, which, again, I'm not here.
Albany. Albany, one of the stupidest college football names.
Are they division? Like, are they FCS?
I believe they are an FCS school. Yes,
the Great Danes.
Albany, where it's like they don't have a separation and they insist on putting the U there, so it looks like it's Walbany.
I enjoy you and him going back and forth. I would ask you, though, as a Badgers fan and as the host of both the Barry Alvarez show and the Wisconsin College Game Day pregame portion, because you're either too busy or too chicken to handle the postgame show, are you brimming with enough confidence as the season commences to be getting after an Iowa guy based on the uncertainty of the Badgers' 2025 future?
Coach has I've hosted the show for 2 weeks. Coach has instilled in me already. Don't flinch. I'm not flinching. I'm not backing down from Iowa. That's a team we got to beat this year. So anything we got to do to get to October 11th and beat the Hawkeyes, that's a big step for the program. If Wisconsin can get that done, everything's building toward that game. Ohio State, all the other games to come later, don't worry about it. Got to beat Iowa, October 11th. Okay. Don't flinch.
Kind of makes me sad. Kind of makes me sad that beating Iowa is a big step for the program now.
Things could be better, but we'll see. Hey, maybe again. I don't know enough about this. I don't know enough about this team right now. Right? Nobody does. Nobody knows about any of these teams. They're all conjured up year to year now. So we'll see. But I personally, if it were me, would not be talking a whole lot of junk at anybody as Wisconsin alum. Gabe, look, we spent a lot of time on Micah Parsons. If that happens, we will be happy to break into programming and discuss that, but I'm kind of done with that finally. I am curious what jumped out. I'm sorry, you sound disappointed.
I feel like there's a lot of texts and Adam Schefter and everybody's talking about it. I don't think we should be done with it.
Well, maybe we could circle back, but look.
Yeah, we can circle back.
I understand.
Circle back. I get it.
I understand that there wasn't a lot of sexy news. You know, Tausch loves to use that word sexy. I understand there wasn't a lot of sexy news that came out of the cuts yesterday, but I do think as a Packers-centric show, we have to divine some of the information that comes from this. And that, to me, Gabe, I want to know what jumped out at you, because I did my 10 takeaways on channel3000.com, and among them was what appears to be a less than aggressive approach to strong special teams play. But I had a bunch of others. What jumped out at you?
I think it's still like the offensive line, and are they going to be scouring? Because I'm still worried about Aaron Banks. There are two things I worry about in any sport when any athlete has two types of injuries, Jason. Lingering back issues and foot issues. Those are the two issues that linger and cause serious problems. So for Banks to have the back issue, that's what makes me wonder if the Packers are actually done adding to this team. Yes, they've done the initial 53, but now when the waiver wire hits, is there somebody that they were interested in going out and grabbing? Because it looked like there were a couple of offensive linemen that I know some of the insiders were tweeting about. Some guys were interested in potentially being traded. If they couldn't work out a trade, obviously they'd then be released. I got to imagine that if they're concerned about the Banks injury, they're going to continue to add to the offensive line. But you said this yesterday when you joined Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, that the surprise cut is kind of a thing of the past, where – obviously we went through the Josh Sitton, Mike Daniels days. It seems like you kind of have an idea of what the core of your team is going to be by the time you start training camp. And yes, some guys might be able to make it on the back end as guys number 52, 53, what have you. Guys like Isaiah Simmons, if he impresses, or McCole Hardman, those veterans that are trying to stick on. But for the most part, you kind of know what that core, depth chart is going to look like by the time you hit training camp. And maybe somebody like a Nazir Stackhouse surprises you and makes the roster.
Right.
But in terms of the days of surprise cuts of, I thought 2 months ago that they'd be counting on this guy. It seems like those days are done. And there's still room, again, for some surprise on the back end where there's actual competition, and that's where these preseason games actually matter, is to those guys who are trying to make, the last 8 to 10 spots on a roster. But in terms of who they walked away from, it was pretty obvious that Simmons wasn't working out the way that they had hoped. I think everybody kind of assumed after the rough special teams game McCole Hardman had in the first preseason game that they were going to move on from Hardman because they didn't really count on him being one of their best 6 wide receivers. The thing you brought up with Blue as well about Rich Bisaccia, because it seemed like he had some sway. And then he's up at the podium saying, well, guys don't make teams based solely on their special teams.
Right.
Ability. Okay, all right. I guess that's different.
Or
it seems
so
like
he's
that's
been
a little
told
different from years
by
past.
his boss.
Yeah, right? So, that was more interesting to me than who they actually ended up walking away from and releasing yesterday.
One of the things that I wanted to ask you was, we all knew this is the 5th year in a row that they only kept 2 quarterbacks on the 53. The last time they had 3 was when Jordan Love was a rookie. We had COVID-19. We had a truncated offseason. Jordan was in no way ready to play if something happened to Aaron Rodgers. So Tim Boyle was the backup. Jordan never even got to wear his jersey on game day. And so we knew that Sean Clifford and Taylor Elgersma were getting cut. Who do you want them to bring back today when practice squads can be realigned?
So I think Chewy has kind of changed my mind on this, because I was more of if disaster strikes, you have a better chance at winning with Sean Clifford. But if disaster strikes and you have to go to Clifford or Elgersma, it's probably not a very good chance you're going to win the game anyway. So they seem to really like Elgersma, and they think that there's more there. I think at this point we know what Sean Clifford is, who Sean Clifford is. So if I could only bring back one, Jason, I lean towards Elgersma, and that seems to be the guy that they like, at least based on the playing time he got in the preseason games.
Yeah, he's not ready to play in the NFL, right? And if we're being honest, you
Correct.
have arguably the best starter-backup combo that you could ask for, right? I mean, I don't know all 32 backups, but I sure like Malik Willis even more than I liked him after he won 2 games last year without knowing the offense completely. if disaster strikes and you lose both those guys, you're in deep doo-doo anyway. Doesn't really matter, right?
And what are the odds, Jason, that Sean Clifford, if Sean Clifford doesn't get picked up by the Packers, if he's somewhere, it's probably going to be on somebody else's practice squad. And if it hits the fan, you could probably just go get him and throw him on the 53, right?
Yeah, for sure. And maybe there's somebody else that got released, right? The guy that Clayton Tune, I saw some people clamoring on social media for him. But again, they're not going to put him on their 53, right? It strikes me as whoever you're considering, if you don't like either of these guys. Last year, they didn't like either of their options, Michael Pratt or Sean Clifford, so they went and traded for Malik Willis. That was for the backup job. For the number 3 job, I don't see it being worthwhile. My point is that I really like Sean Clifford, the guy. I enjoy every conversation I have. I think he's a really good dude. I would argue that as compared to a guy that's been in Canada, for quite a while, if you're looking for someone who can help the starting quarterback prepare for the next opponent, it's a no-brainer. Sean Clifford can do that, right? He's way more helpful in that way. So if that matters to you, then he's your guy. You also have 16 practice squad spots. If you really wanted to, you could keep them both. Some teams have 3 quarterbacks on their 53 and a 4th on their practice squad. So again, I have nothing against the Canadian with the cannon of an arm. My point is that Sean Clifford appears to be who he is. And I don't think he's an NFL starter at this point, and maybe never, right? So it's not like if you lose out on him and he goes to someone else's practice squad, yeah, it's possible that he could develop, but I don't think you're worried about that. So whatever they do there, I don't think is really going to matter either way. And that's what I mean about this cut down. Like a lot of it, like if somebody claims Cornelius Johnson or Julian Hicks, great, good for them that they're going to be on a 53. They showed some good stuff. But what you've got right now, wide receiver, it's going to take a disaster for them to have to be on the field playing for you. So it reminds me of Gene Hackman in Hoosiers. And Jimmy Chitwood's not there yet. And the fans are clamoring for Jimmy. This is your team. And this has been your team largely since after the draft and free agency. Like there aren't a whole lot of surprises. I don't even think Nazir Stackhouse is a surprise. When they signed him in free agency after the draft, I thought, hey, this guy could really make this team. And he did. That's where they stand. All right. I would like to get to some other aspects of this roster, including the bow nose cornerback aspect of it. But Jesse needs to tell us about UW Credit Union first.
That's right, Jason. Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, old T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Is it to keep your banking local? Yeah. Is it the member first service? Of course. Great perks like early payday. Yes to all of those. But honestly, between us, that cute rascal Bucky, I love him, except for that hard nose when he concussed me the other day. And if you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. So become a UW Credit Union member like me and get your Bucky card. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms apply.
More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut, and you know how much I've loved Pizza Hut going back to the days when I was a kid, participating in their legendary Book It program. Man, I loved getting those personal pizzas, and Pizza Hut's latest offer has me feeling a blast from the past. Introducing Pizza Hut's $5 crafted flats pizzas. 5 bold, hand-stretched personal pizza recipes, 3 cheese, pepperoni duo, the ultimate, and for a limited time, chicken, bacon, ranch, and Nashville hot chicken. Each of these crafted flats pizzas, just $5. All day, every day, making them perfect options for lunch, dinner, or game day. Order your $5 crafted flats pizza at pizzahut.com or on the Pizza Hut app. $5 crafted flats pizzas only at Pizza Hut. And remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
The Milwaukee Brewers, the Arizona Diamondbacks.
3-2, drilled to left. Watch this baby, way back, way gone.
Tonight on 100.5 ESPN.
Bringing summer gatherings to the next level is just another thing we do at Celebrations Entertainment. Hi, it's Jeffrey. With rental items like sound equipment, photo booths, and even yard games, you can make your event the party that everyone talks about. Any event like graduation parties, block parties, or even a backyard barbecue can be elevated with fun, interactive items to make everyone ask, hey, how'd you pull this off? Just tell them celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
It's the summer sales event at Metro Ford Madison, and the deals are still heating up. Drive home in a 2024 Ford F-150, Bronco Sport, or Mach-E with 0% APR for 48 months, $20.83 per $1,000 finance. But wait, there's more! Get a 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty on new vehicles and 90 days with no payments with approved credit. But hurry, these hot offers end September 2nd. Head to Metro Ford Madison today and visit metrofordmadison.com.
Brian here from Canopy Wealth Management. At Canopy, we create strategies that are tailored to your needs and goals. We've invested heavily in client-friendly software so your assets and plan progress are available to view in one place at any time. Whether you prefer only the high-level information or enjoy the intricate details of the planning process, we've got you covered. Canopy Wealth Management. Care, competence, clarity. It's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
Get ready to unleash the dragon at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Introducing the region's very first $1 million Dragon Link slot game. Feel the thrill, chase the excitement, and win big. With jackpots soaring to $1 million, your chance to hit it big is here. Come experience the ultimate gaming adventure. Visit Hard Rock Casino Rockford today and play the $1 million Dragon Link slot game. Your legendary win awaits. Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Let's hard rock. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN Radio.
Kyle Schwarber, wow.
The Braves at the Phillies. Coverage of Sunday Night Baseball begins at 6 Eastern with first pitch at 7 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN.
Give me one reason to steer, and I'll turn right back around. Give me one reason to steer, and I'll turn right back around. And I don't want to leave you lonely. You gotta make me change my mind.
Gabe, I don't think there's anyone other than maybe Bo Melton's parents, his brother Max, and maybe a couple of his teammates, because he's really well liked in that locker room. More excited that Bo Melton switched positions in the NFL and did so successfully. Now, he's not Deion Sanders. He's not Tramon Williams. He's not Darrelle Revis. Not yet, anyway. But he's like a heartbeat or two away from having to play the position in a game that counts in the standings against a team that is scheming for the game as opposed to just running their vanilla stuff in a preseason game. Great story, great dude, love it. If I was a Packers fan, this would still give me some apprehension. Am I wrong to stand in that spot?
So would you feel better if Corey Ballentine made the roster? Because that's somebody that has been on this team before and that they've counted on, has played some meaningful snaps.
Frankly, yes.
To me, the fact that they were willing to let him walk away and keep Bo Melton around tells me that Bo's ready. Like, he's as ready as he possibly could be, and whoever you kind of put in that position, they're going to be sinking a little bit and trying to keep their head above water. But I guess I trust Jeff Hafley in the defensive staff enough that this wasn't going to be a charity thing. And especially after we just heard that you don't make this team based on what you can do on your special teams ability from Rich Bisaccia. Like, if I start putting those pieces together, they weren't just going to go, oh, Bo's really liked in the locker room, really like him. We're going to give him one of the 53 spots. No, he had to go out and earn that spot. And the fact that he did it over Ballentine, who they brought in clearly as an insurance policy in case somebody like Bo Melton wasn't ready, tells me that, okay, I would prefer that Bo doesn't have to play. I would prefer that their top three corners, and then four, I guess, if you want to throw Javon Bullard in there, so it seems like he's going to be playing the slot a lot. I would prefer that everybody stays healthy, but that's not the reality. And I'm going to trust Jeff Hafley and his decision-making at that position that Bo would be better than Corey Ballentine should he have to play.
I don't think I'm a negative person. You wouldn't say that, right? I'm not negative. I'm usually pretty.
I would not call you a negative person.
You did bring up murder an awful amount the other day. When we were having fun.
Look, Ray Caruth, I see Ray Caruth's name, I think murder. I don't think, hey, boy, he had that nice touchdown catch against the Badgers. Sorry. They even did like a Law and Order. Fair. They did like a Law and Order episode, but they replaced him with a basketball player. It was the same story. Ripped from the headlines, don't you know? But I look at their offensive line depth, and I look at their corner depth. I look at the San Francisco 49ers last year and the Detroit Lions last year, and one team didn't have sufficient depth, and they cratered. The other one had every injury known to man on their defense, and they still managed to have the best record in the NFC. Like, I'm leery of those two spots, that those could be the Achilles heels of this team if they get injuries there and they don't have sufficient depth. Am I wrong to think that way, Gabe?
Let me follow your question with a question of my own. Is the Packers' cornerback room better or worse than it was going into the Eagles game in the postseason a year ago?
Because they didn't have Jair Alexander anymore?
They did not have Jair at that point.
And then it was
Is
Eric
it better
Stokes.
Or worse than it was last year?
You've replaced Eric Stokes with Nate Hobbs.
Yes.
Right? And you've replaced Corey Ballentine with Bo Melton. It's not better.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
I mean, it's not better because I don't know. I don't know what Nate Hobbs is going to be. I don't know if you've heard. He's very physical, as I established from watching film of him in a phantom game against Arizona. Yeah, I mean, is it appreciably better? No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Is it roughly the same?
Yeah, I mean, it's a smidge better if Nate Hobbs is healthy and stays that way. Right now, he's not.
So last year, in that Eagles game, Eric Stokes did not play, or he played one defensive snap. Eric Stokes played a single defensive snap. They relied on Keyshawn Nixon. They relied on Carrington Valentine, and then obviously Javon Bullard.
Right.
Kind of like I think what the plan is this year. Bullard's going to be that slot guy. So I think when you're taking Stokes out, based solely on the contract they got Hobbs, and based solely on the contract that Stokes then got from the Raiders, so oddly enough, they end up swapping teams, I think they're in a better spot than they were a year ago, and I don't remember going into that playoff game against the Eagles like wringing my hands about the defensive backs or the cornerback room. So I feel like this is something that is kind of because of the Jair Alexander situation and how it played out, I think the spotlight on that position got brighter. When in actuality, I know I'm in the minority here, but I feel fine about that room.
Yeah, no,
I really do. I feel like
clarify. Yes, because what you just described is exactly what they would start on September 7th if they don't have Nate Hobbs, right? That's I'm fine with that too. Like, I like those three. My point is that, and this is what I was saying about the Lions and the 49ers, that feels like it is an injury or two away from being an absolute disaster. And that's kind of how I feel about the offensive line. Look, I love the Darian Kennard story. I am not convinced that they added a guy.
Because clearly it's going to result in a Packers Super Bowl because he's 3 for 3.
Right, and Dolly Parton appearing on our show. Yeah. So I'm excited about both those aspects.
That'd be pretty sweet.
Jolene. But what I'm saying, I'm fine if they only have to go Carrington Valentine, Keyshawn Nixon, Nate Hobbs, and Javon Bullard all season long. Great. Then I don't have anything to worry about. I agree with you. My point is that Nate Hobbs has never played a full NFL season. Never.
It's troublesome.
Keyshawn Nixon is one tough dude. He is. If I have to go and get into a fight in a dark alley, he's one of my guys out of that locker room. But if we're going to put him back on kickoff returns, I'm a little worried about that if I'm the Packers. Because he is my number one corner. Javon Bullard missed a fair number of games last year as a rookie. So did Evan Williams. So my point is simply, this is great. On paper, yes, I agree with you. Slightly better to maybe a little more than slightly better. You get hit by injuries there, and I think they're cooked, especially against who they got to go against. And again, I'm not saying that keeping Kalen King over Kamal Haddon would have been a game changer. And I like Kamal. I'm one of the few people that knew his name, as he pointed out to me last week. But the bottom line is they got a lot of unproven commodities after their top three and Bullard.
But at the same time, I don't think there are now, are there some teams that are probably pretty comfortable with their 4th or 5th corners? Yeah. But I would say the majority of the NFL, there's not a lot of depth at that position.
True.
There's a reason why those guys get paid what they get paid, because it's a really hard position to play. It seems like the receivers are getting better and better and better as they're coming out, but I don't feel like that's the same talk around the cornerback position. You know, again, the best cornerback potentially in this past draft is going to be playing more wide receiver than corner. And I understand that's a different, situation with Travis Hunter, but it kind of tells you that a lot of the really good athletes are focusing on playing the wide receiver position, and the depth of corner just doesn't exist across the league. Now, the offensive line, on the other hand, Jason, I feel most teams want 7 guys they feel good about. And that is not the case for the Green Bay Packers, especially when one of the injuries that you're dealing with is potentially a back injury that we don't have a ton of information about. Is this going to be chronic? Is this a one-time thing? What's going on with Aaron Banks? I am way more concerned about the offensive line and the depth there, and clearly the people they do not trust behind the 5 or 6 they do trust.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's more concerning. That's more troublesome to me than when I look at the secondary.
Jesse, you need to have a Coors Light on us so we can continue the program.
I had one the other day, much to the critique of
I wasn't even
going
to bring. See, did you notice? I didn't even bring that up.
I did.
I just ignored
appreciate that. Yeah,
then you brought it up.
Well, then it's kind of been top of mind for the last few days, but good news. I'm not me right now. Mark Tauscher here for the Blue Mountains of cold, refreshing Coors Light. Whether you're tailgating pregame, enjoying your experience during the game like Jesse was the other day, or celebrating a big win after the game, or even if you just need a moment to chill, crack open a Rocky Mountain cold Coors Light. Coors Light is brewed with a 3-step cold process: cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged. So it's actually made to chill. The mountain fountains on Coors Light's cold-activated bottles and cans turn blue when chilled to perfection, which, besides the refreshing taste, is my favorite thing about drinking a Coors Light. Oh, look at that, me out on the golf course. Oh, look at those clouds, so well-positioned, refreshingly cold, and only 102 calories. Coors Light is made to chill. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, a Golden, Colorado.
The 10 o'clock hour is not over, but we have breaking news from Bill Huber, who has owned the roster stuff. He has done such a great job at SI.com. There is someone who is not coming back to the practice squad. And I think you're going to find this interesting. And it's not a big red dog. We'll tell you who it is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by Steinhoffels. Try Helix Sleep's award-winning mattresses now at Steinhoffels, 20% off. Visit steinhoffels.com to learn more. Better sleep starts now. 19 newcomers featured in the season's opening two-deep depth chart. Luke Fickell hoping the pieces in place step up. The head coach sharing more in his Week 1 press conference.
There's a lot of unknowns. I said it could help in a lot of ways. You got a lot of older guys. We've got 30-some guys, 32, 34 guys that are technically in their last year of college football, which would entail make you a very old team, but yet a very few of them have played together for significant time. And so with that being said, there's a lot of unknowns.
Wisconsin, a 17.5-point favorite over the Red Hawks, an 8 p.m. kickoff under the Camp Randall lights.
For long-lasting comfort and reliability, our craftsmen make it easy to trust Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Right now, get 0% interest for up to 5 years at PellaWI.com.
Zimbrick Honda has been a proud part of the Madison community since 1973. They're your one-stop shop for over 250 new Hondas to choose from. Whether you're looking for a sedan, SUV, or truck, their selection of new vehicles is second to none. Stop in today at their location on Fish Hatchery Road and lease a 2026 Honda HR-V LX all-wheel drive for as low as $249 per month. Or browse their vehicle selection online at ZimbrickHonda.com. That's ZimbrickHonda.com. Shop local, shop Zimbrick Honda.
Mark Tauscher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison. Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offer the Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
To help those who want to be helped, but may not be able to afford it.
That's what PGA Tour winner Grayson Murray had envisioned for a foundation before he sadly took his own life at just 30 years old. His parents channeled their grief into creating the Grayson Murray Foundation, carrying out his vision to help those struggling with mental health and addiction. To donate and learn more, visit GraysonMurrayFoundation.com.
All day, every day, the Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
GRB Academy is baseball for the serious player. Over the past 15 years, GRB has been Wisconsin's top destination for player development and advancement, including over 468 college commitments and 27 MLB draft picks. Their facility in Windsor is the home of GRB Rays baseball and features over 52,000 square feet of elite baseball training. Tryouts for the 2026 summer season begin July 22nd. Find full training programs and register now at grbacademy.com.
Something special's brewing in Milwaukee.
I've never seen anything like this. You have to almost think it's cosmic, the way that things have been going.
You're listening to Madison's new home for Milwaukee Brewers baseball, 100.5 ESPN.
If you're of a certain age, you remember the McKenzie brothers from SCTV. Take off, eh, you hoser? Rick Moranis, Dave Thomas, I think the other guy was. Not the Wendy's Dave Thomas. They serve ice cream.
Not the Wendy's Dave. Wait, there were multiple Dave Thomases back in the day?
Yeah, I think so.
You've lost me entirely.
Wow.
Take off, eh, you hoser, because they were Canadian, you know. Taylor Elgersma, or Elgersma, depending upon which syllable you put the accent on, will not be re-signed to the practice squad per Bill Huber.
Oh, snap.
Showed plenty of potential and received very good feedback, but didn't advance far enough, fast enough in his competition with Sean Clifford to be the number 3 quarterback behind Jordan Love and Malik Willis. That is per Bill Huber of SI.com. Gabe, your reaction?
Okay, so Sean Clifford's the guy. Again, if either one of them ends up having to play any meaningful snaps, things are going downhill fast. They have gone south in a hurry. I don't have confidence in either one of them winning a game for the Green Bay Packers. But if there was going to be like a 1% chance of the Packers winning if they had to play, the positive spin is I would have more confidence in Sean Clifford winning that game than Mr. Elgersma.
How much confidence did you have in Malik Willis last year?
Oh, none.
Okay.
None.
So
3-0, baby.
So they'll go 3-0 with Sean Clifford when he has to play. All right, we need to get to the 11 o'clock hour. Your old Podna, as Tausch would say. Steve the Homer True scheduled to appear at 11:15. Before we can do that, though, we need to talk about the all-new ESPN app. If you have not checked this out yet, I don't really understand what you're waiting for. I have it. It's worth every penny, and I'll be honest, the biggest thing that I love is the 30 for 30 documentaries that are all in there. But for the first time, you can stream all of ESPN all in one place. It is a game changer. All the best live sports, the most championship moments, studio shows, documentaries, originals, too many to even name them all, plus great new features like watching 4 games at once with multi-view, your fantasy team updates live in-game, Sports Center customized just for you. They have thought of everything to make this the ultimate destination for fans. So check it out. Sign up for the all-new ESPN app right now. Right now, it's time to get ready for the 11 o'clock hour, which starts in 2 minutes, so stick around.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Your current car, soon to be your old car. A new car? Better start looking. But you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with free credit score and score monitoring on most new consumer checking accounts. Because when you know you need to make a big purchase, knowing your credit score puts you in the driver's seat. You've got this with free credit monitor from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Hey, this is former Badger Brad Norton.
9 minutes of fake. Great call and great execution.
You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson. Sports Center brought to you by Madison Axe. Enjoy axe throwing, craft beer, bag, shuffleboard, and more fun at Madison's state-of-the-art entertainment spot. Visit MadisonAxe.com or head to their location on Stoughton Road today. Milwaukee Brewers walked off the Arizona Diamondbacks 9-8 last night at American Family Field. Isaac Collins with the game-winning sacrifice fly in the bottom of the ninth inning, the 10th walk-off win of the season for the Brewers. That's the good news. The bad news is they were up 6-0 after the third inning with the Miz on the mound. Ended up blowing the lead where the Diamondbacks came all the way back to tie it at 8 with a 3-run seventh inning. It's 2 nights in a row the Brewers had a 6-0 lead and gave it up. Hopefully that's not the case tonight. 6:40 first pitch, game 3 of the 4-game set. Quinn Priester on the mound. That means the Brewers are going to win. They haven't lost since he's pitched in forever. Pre-game coverage starts just after 6 o'clock here on Madison's home of the Brewers, 100.5 ESPN. Football reactions continuing to the Packers trimming to the 53-man active roster yesterday. Former Canadian quarterback Taylor Elgersma reportedly not returning to the Packers practice squad per Bill Huber of Sports Illustrated. More reactions straight ahead. Wilde and Tausch.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch, which will include a visit from Uncle Homer, assuming that, boy, I had a really great visit to the dentist earlier this week. Went great.
Oof.
I'm very pleased
we
with
learned of a rough... Well, so this is something I think that you, as an owner of as many animals as you have, would appreciate. So we found out this morning on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy that obviously there's no dentist for dogs. You just take them to the vet. But Jen's dog had to have 17 teeth pulled at the vet. So I hope that Uncle Homer's visit to the dentist was not as rough as that.
Yeah, we have been informed that one of our dogs, Stella, has to, they put them under, not they don't put them to sleep because I'm not a fan of that phrase. They put them to under and they clean their teeth while they're asleep. So
yeah. Because a lot of dogs, would fight like a toothbrush in the mouth. Like I got to imagine that'd be weird for a lot of
she's
dogs.
not a fan. Our other dog, Sadie, she really likes having her teeth brushed. So hey, different strokes for different folks. But I know Homer ran into some delays at the dentist, so he's going to join us momentarily after we take a break. I'm not purposely playing four corners here, which you have to be of a certain age from before the shot clock era to get that reference. I understand.
Shout out Dean Smith.
Learning you got to update your references today.
Is it right? Because I do a show every day with a guy who brings up Dallas.
You brought up something with I Dream of Jeannie yesterday when he was trying to make some sort of reference when Evan was talking about. Like, what are we doing, man?
Yeah, no,
I Dream of Jeannie.
It's something, but I don't want to do this anymore. But you guys, I feel like I'm being bullied on my own show. What do you got from the text portion of the Carbless Talkin' text line about Micah Parsons and the Green Bay Packers?
People want to talk about Jason. You guys are a show of the people. You got to give the people what they want.
I'm glad you asked, Jason.
But I can't give them Micah Parsons. That's what they want.
But you can give us the idea of
not
Micah
with, not with that
Parsons.
attitude, Jason.
Yeah.
Maybe if you change your attitude, you
Listen
could.
Listen to Darcy in Fitchburg, who we saw at Pizza Hut in Platteville a couple of weeks ago. I just keep thinking about how quiet the Josh Jacobs and Xavier McKinney deals were. Those announcements seemingly came out of nowhere. Now, I get that it's free agency versus a trade, but this whole Micah Parsons thing is just too loud for Goody's style. I also can't see him giving away that many picks. Should he? I think it would be a great move, but it's definitely not happening, says Darcy in Fitchburg.
So basically, Darcy's with me. It ain't happening, Captain.
Well, at first when I read that, I interpreted it differently. I thought she was saying, like, it was quiet.
Did you even
and
read
came
it?
Out of
Was it too long?
So obviously you did not read it.
No,
you obviously because literally the last 3 words, Jesse, are definitely not happening.
Well, we all think it's not happening, but we didn't think Josh Jacobs was going to happen, and then it did.
This is nothing like that.
It's a little bit like that. It's not like that.
No, it's not like that. That was free agency, as Darcy acknowledges. All right.
And the reason why that caught us all off guard is because they had Aaron Jones, and the general manager had made basically a promise that Aaron Jones was going to be on the roster. I think that's what caught us off guard by the Josh Jacobs thing.
Yeah, very fair. Great point. Absolutely. Will Aaron Jones be back? Yeah, absolutely.
That did happen.
Okay, you want to try? You want a mulligan there, Coors Light, Bob Uecker?
Yeah, 717. Any guesses where that area code is, fellas?
Tampa, Florida.
No, not even close. Come on, off
Vancouver.
Oh no, somewhere in between.
Minot, whichever Dakota Minot's in.
All right, South Central Pennsylvania is where this text comes from. The 717.
What's in South Central Pennsylvania?
This texter. Remind us to give us
like a city. Harrisburg?
I think that's, Harrisburg. Actually, it might kind of be where Williamsport is, if I remember.
All right, just
right?
read the
trade whatever to get Micah Parsons, because last I checked, those draft picks are just potential. We know what kind of player Parsons is. It's year 3, and we're still waiting on LVN. I think I agree with this 717 text. I think draft picks, especially first-rounders, later in the first round can be incredibly inflated in value when we're talking about trades. Because what could be often isn't what actually comes from those.
Yeah, again, that's the siren song, though, right, Gabe? Like, you don't know what that draft pick could be. It could be Micah Parsons. So that's why...
Well, and that's what I saw one... I saw a text here on the Milwaukee version of the Carblis Talking text line, basically saying, yeah, I would just take that and go get my own Micah Parsons. Well, it's not that easy. You know, it's just not that easy. Like Abdul Carter, who was the top pass rusher who went this year, goes to the Giants. I think Abdul Carter is going to be really good. But I don't know if he actually is going to be really good. You know who I know is going to be really good?
Micah Parsons.
Micah Parsons.
This reminds me, if you want to talk about updated references, there's a Family Guy episode where they offer Peter they say you can take the boat or the mystery box. And then he say, oh, we should take the mystery box. It could be anything. It could even be a boat. Like, why not just make the trade for Micah Parsons instead of gambling on hoping to get someone who could be as good someday in a pipe dream kind of world as Micah Parsons?
Can I just ask, how recent was that Family Guy episode?
20 years.
But
that's been a lot more
mid-2000s.
recent than I Dream of Jeannie and whatever you were talking about.
Okay, so he's brought the references of the television shows up about 30 years. We're still about 20 years away from anything, relevant or recent. But
Its first
he's updated it by about 30
was
years.
in 1999.
After the Super Bowl, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Get out of town, man.
Well, you want to go watch Love Island and then give us a good reference,
still on the
Jason?
air.
Yeah.
I mean,
no,
and also,
it is.
Jason,
it's still on the air.
Jason,
Yep,
I love
you're
you,
right.
bud.
Uh-huh.
And Jason, I love you. And I am a fan of this show just as much as you are. Love watching the reruns, no matter how old they are. Your go-to reference is Law & Order. That's not
or
exactly,
Seinfeld. Seinfeld. We do a lot of Seinfeld on your show.
I also love Seinfeld as well.
Yeah.
Yes, I love it as well. Those aren't necessarily recent.
No, you're right. Tom Silverstein reporting. Quarterback Sean Clifford is still weighing his options. The Packers' number 3 spot is wide open, and maybe someone who wasn't in camp. That's per Tom Silverstein of the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. All right, we need to get to Homer. He's probably already irritated. He's been to the dentist. That didn't go the way he'd hoped. Now we're making him wait, so we will do what we can. Yeah, Tommy DeVito! Bring him in! DeVito!
Call that guy up.
This fall, it is more than just football season. It's the Gatorade border battle at Quick Trip. Are you Team Purple or Green and Gold proud? Either way, you could score the ultimate fan experience. 2 Turf Suite tickets to the Week 18 Packers-Vikings showdown at U.S. Bank Stadium, plus a $250 Quick Trip gift card to fuel your fandom. Just purchase any Gatorade product, which we do at Quick Trip all the time, with your Quick Rewards accounts and earn bonus Fan Zone points. Packers, Vikings, let the Quick Trip Gatorade border battle begin. No purchase necessary. Details at quicktrip.com/sweepstakes. Plus, of course, when you go to Quick Trip like we do all the time, there's one right by the girls' gymnastics gym. Don't miss this week's quick hot savings through September 8th. Nature's Touch ice cream, 1.5 quarts, just $2.99, limit 2. Quickery white bread, 1 pound loaf, only 99 cents, limit 2. Quickery breakfast sausage links, $2.49 a package, limit 2. And apples, oranges, and pears, oh my, 3 for just $1.49. The limit there is 12. Life is busy, but Quick Trip's got you covered. We'll see you next time. Uncle Homer joins us next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott Garrett and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
And Madison.
Zimbrick Honda and ESPN Medicine present the Game Changers of the Month, recognizing those in area sports who make a positive impact in their community. Here's Pablo Iglesias with Zimbrick Honda's Game Changers of the Month.
Pablo Iglesias here for the Zimbrick Game Changers of the Month. I am joined by the lead of Mentoring Positives, Will Green. Tell us a little bit about Mentoring Positives and that initiative.
Mentoring Positives is a program I started in 2004. My passion comes from the loss of my mom, so I just turned my pain into passion. So she inspired me to create Mentoring Positives, man. I turned that pain into passion, and I've been mentoring youth for the last 21 years. We're in the Darby-Worthington Park neighborhood on the east side of Madison, and we work with a lot of kids from a socio-emotional standpoint, and I use enrichment activities like basketball, cooking food, and other things to teach them life skills.
Follow ESPN Madison on YouTube and on Facebook for more with the Game Changers of the Month, presented by Zimbrick Honda.
Grassland Butter is built by tradition right here in Wisconsin. Grassland is family owned and has been crafting butter for 5 generations. That's why at Grassland Butter, you're more than just an employee, you're family. The Wietrich family believes in supporting each other, growing together, and building a workplace where everyone feels valued. Your voice matters at Grassland Dairy. Your success is our success. Join a team where culture isn't just a buzzword, it's how we live every day. Check us out online at grassland.com. That's grassland.com.
Thinking about going electric? Now is the perfect time at Zimbrick Chevrolet. When you purchase a qualifying new EV vehicle, you could get up to $7,500 for eligible buyers from a federal clean vehicle tax credit. Don't wait, act now, because this tax credit is only available until September 30th. And once you buy your EV, Zimbrick Chevy will take care of you with their certified EV service and top off your charge. Never overpay at Zimbrick Chevrolet. Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie, the name you can trust.
At Siding Unlimited, we're really excited for the fall season. Not only are we proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics, we are also fired up for an exciting fall season cheering on football and volleyball. If that's not enough, we're really excited to share with you that Siding Unlimited is Wisconsin's best window and door installation team. Siding Unlimited is a Pella Platinum Premier National Contractor of the Year award winner 5 times.
Looking for new windows and doors? Visit us at sidingunlimited.com or stop by our beautiful showroom in Madison.
Summer is here, and there's no better way to celebrate than with Door County Distillery. Hey, it's Alex Stroh. I've been telling you for years how great Door County Distillery is. Locally produced, handcrafted, and award-winning spirits made locally in beautiful Door County. The sun is shining, and so can the Rock Island Rum from Door County Distillery in your summertime cocktail. Otherwise, vodkas, gins, whiskeys, brandies, and more, it's all available from the award-winning Door County Distillery. Find a huge list of unique cocktail recipes and the retailer nearest you, doorcountydistillery.com. That's doorcountydistillery.com.
Liberty Station American Tavern and Smokehouse isn't just a barbecue restaurant. Open daily for lunch and dinner, Liberty Station serves American comfort food with regional touches using many locally sourced ingredients. The bar at Liberty Station offers vintage cocktails created in a classic style, local craft beers, plus a wide array of wine options. And be sure to check out their sprawling patio with an indoor and outdoor porch area. Liberty Station, conveniently located just off the Beltline on Rimrock Road.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Whatever you do, make sure you do it right. Whatever you do,
Straight from the dentist, where those 85-year-old teeth are fresh and clean. You hear him every day on the Homer Hour, the best 60 minutes of your day, allegedly. It is Steve the Homer True. Homer, good morning. How are you?
I'm fine. I didn't know that when you have a crown, when you get older, there can be problems underneath the crown, to where they have to remove the crown and then get rid of the tooth. So.
Ooh, what happened? You get a little popcorn husk in there? What happened?
No. If you have cavities that are so bad that need a crown, you risk when you get older that the crown there now is this problem under the crown, which I thought when you got a crown, it's like a casket. You're done, right? You don't have to.
Casket
don't gotta
for
get
your
a second
tooth.
casket. You can't die twice. You got your other teeth that will screw up. But now you have a crown. Now I got problems under the crown. What do you mean? Anyway, okay, that's more than people need to know. Just take care of your teeth. Find out if your teeth are good or bad. And if your teeth are bad, you have to take care of them perfectly your whole life, and they'll still screw up. And that's the only problem I had from my parents. They gave us bad teeth and didn't tell us that. And so I thought when I got this crown in Madison in 1989, a little early for a crown, but hey, now, okay, I'm taken care of. Nope, that's over.
Wow. It's even older than most of our references on this show, your crown was. Well, congrats on your new crown. Are you getting swept up in the Micah Parsons madness? I mean, I woke up this morning to these tweets like people were personally disappointed in me for not making it happen. Where are you at on this nonsense? Or is it not nonsense?
No interest at all. None. It's all a farce. And I say that recognizing that if it occurs, then I'll look stupid. That's fine. People need to know it's a farce because of Jerry Jones. And if it occurs, then it's probably the biggest surprise in the history of professional football. I don't know what the ranking is. It'd be like needing a second casket. And so to present it that way is the only way it should be presented. He always does this. In the end, he's paid everyone. It is fair that the guy you used as a comparison, the closest thing, the guy the Packers didn't get, but they came close. Who was that?
Khalil Mack.
Khalil Mack. He actually did sign on September the 2nd. So, I mean, we do. The problem here is you have the Bryan Bulaga NFL bye week, and nothing's going on. And so you're just create this. This is perfect for Jerry Jones. It may go all week because there's nothing going on. This is the stupidest week in the NFL season, and it's not even close.
But the problem I have, Homer, though, is the reason why this is different is because, yes, Jerry has done this before, and then what does Jerry do? Ultimately, he gives in and offers the contract that they were looking for, whether that's Dak Prescott and $60 million per year, CeeDee Lamb and the contract he got, Zach Martin. He's already offered the most money, but this is this is going a step further in that Micah Parsons isn't interested, at least right now, in that. And when Adam Schefter is telling us that this relationship has devolved, I think, well, ultimately, I think you're right. And like Jerry Jones isn't going to trade him. This is a little different than everything else that's happened previously with Jerry because it's gotten more personal than those other instances.
I don't know if that's the case. I would just go by dates. I would want to know how long the other ones went. This one, Jerry said it best. I got him for 3 years, and he does. What's Parsons going to do? Not play for 3 years? What? He's right. Correct? You can franchise him for 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
So do whatever you want, Micah.
I want to ask you both this, and then I'll do what Homer does whenever I appear on his show when Bulaga or John Anderson are on with him. Homer just like recedes into the background like Homer Simpson does. Another old reference for you here, into the bushes in that GIF. I want you both, because you worked together for a long time on Homer and Gabe. My question for you about this Micah Parsons thing would be this. And again, I don't know what's going to happen here. I am not omnipotent, nor am I omniscient, Jesse. You can look that one up too. Why don't more teams say, forget you, I'm going to play hardball? Whether it's with Jordan Love, whether it's with Trey Hendrickson, whether it's with name any player that's held out. Why don't more of them say, hey man, you're under contract. Complain all you want, hold out all you want. We'll just keep finding you. Why, in your opinions, Gabe, I want you to go first, then Homer can react. Why don't more teams do this? Because it seems to me that Jerry Jones is at least acting like he's going to say, forget you, man. You're under contract. I don't care. I just told you what my game plan is. Deal with it.
Because typically these types of players are ones that are really important to your team and whether or not they have success on the field. And when the NFL season is as short as it is, missing 1 or 2 games, as we've seen with the slow starts that the Cincinnati Bengals have had over the last couple of years, 1 or 2 games could be the difference of you making the playoffs or missing the playoffs. So a lot of times it ends up being a player that's really important, which is why I think it's interesting that the only player that decided to play hardball back was Le'Veon Bell, in a running back position that, even though it's regained some value, is still relatively devalued across the league. And that's the only one that went, if you're not going to give me a long-term extension, then I'm going to sit out. And the Steelers went, yeah, cool, sit out. And they figured it out because running back, you can find replacements easier than a star pass rusher or a star quarterback. And why teams then shy away from the hard ball and going the route that Jerry has described going with Micah of, hey, play out this year, franchise tag. Players hate the franchise tag, and you want to have a decent enough relationship with your players where you seem like an attractive place for free agents to come. You want to be able to easily retain your own talent instead of them going, nah, I want to go and play elsewhere.
Homer?
I have to accept Gabe or any reason because I don't get it. I agree with you totally. It makes no sense. I suggested they do that with Jordan Love. I don't have an answer on that. You'd have to ask the people, but Gabe could be 100% right. These are important players, and you don't want them to hate you. It doesn't make any sense to me. There's nothing they can do. They could have done it with Davante Adams.
They did do it with Davante Adams. That was exactly what I was going to bring up. Again, I disagreed, and I've told Davante that. Like, he was too nice.
But eventually they traded him, right?
Right, but they made him play out the last year of his deal.
Right, but they could have made him play after that.
They could have
franchised him for 2 years.
They could have. Yeah,
so they had him for 2 years. I would have told him the same. Do whatever you want. You're not playing anywhere but here for the next 2 years. You think he's going to sit out both years?
Yeah, I don't want Homer, you're Homer. Tausch loves to say the old Mike Tomlin quote about I want volunteers, not hostages. And I think that's apt. At the same time, like if some crazy owner, and this guy is just crazy enough to be that guy with all the attention it gets, if one owner had the guts and the nonsense to do it, he's the one. He's the one.
But, Jason, this is the part that needs to be emphasized. They're not doing anything. These are the rules. These are the rules agreed to by the players. This is not an owner doing anything.
They're not. They're the rules
that exist.
Homer, they're the rules. They're not the norms.
I didn't say that. Did I say norm?
No, I know.
Said they are the
I just
rules.
want to clarify
so
that.
any owner who does it
But also-
is adhering to the rules. No player can say, you're being mean to me. No, I'm not. This is part of the deal.
Yeah, but Jerry's also not adhering. Jerry's not adhering to the rules by not wanting to negotiate with the agents. That's not adhering to the rules that were also agreed to in the CBA.
I don't know exactly what has occurred. I would agree with you. I don't know what the rules are there. I don't know if you talk to the player and you make an agreement that I then have to talk to the agent. You may be right on that. I'm just saying that this whole premise.
Well, if the player says, "Hey, I want you to talk to my agent," you then have to talk to the agent instead of the player. That's the purpose of the agent.
I would think so. Yeah. But I don't know what that's just being mean. I don't know that that's a violation of it. But this is the whole thing about franchise. You can't do that. What do you mean? You can do that, and you should do that.
Yeah. Homer, before we let you go and continue to tend to your casket crown, what was your takeaway, if you had any, from the roster? The initial 53-man roster.
That's the most insignificant now. It's not really 53. You've talked about the practice squad as such. It's all just a joke. It's like we're talking about third-string quarterbacks and all this stuff. It's become meaningless. You remember when it was a big day?
I do.
Not a big day anymore. It's nothing. What was the biggest day of the whole? There was nothing across the whole league. Nothing.
Yeah, there was not much. No, you're right. The days of the surprise cut over.
Well, no, but they've.
No,
made,
I mean the biggest thing yesterday was Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. That was the biggest thing yesterday.
Yes. No,
that was a pretty big transaction.
No. The biggest thing was our poll. Who are you going to blame when they break up? Each of those, and then, as suggested by John Anderson, we added the media, and I think the media won. They got no chance of last. Come on. Micah Parsons.
Oh, come on. You can't say that, Homer. You got to root for love. You got to root for love, man. Root for love. Don't be negative about their relationship.
I rooted for love a lot with a lot of girls in high school. That never happened either. And this ain't happening either.
Poor Nancy True. All right, Homer, thanks.
Bye.
Jesse, tell us about Prize Picks.
Jeez. Hey, Mark Tauscher here. Preseason football is underway and college football is here, so don't miss any of the action this season on Prize Picks. It's simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you get cash and win up to 2,000 times your money. Prize Picks is also the best way to get action on sports in more than 40 states, including California, Texas, Florida, and Georgia. Prize Picks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. Prize Picks offers Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more for quick and easy deposits into your account this football season. That's more recent of a reference. Prize Picks invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. That's pretty convenient. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. Prize Picks, the best way to win real money this football season. Which players are going off? Which ones aren't? Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your sports opinions into real money all season long on Prize Picks. The best place to win cash while watching sports. Join millions of users and sign up today. Download the Prize Picks app and use code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right.
Also, run your game. Whoa, Nelly is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here with a refreshing offer for a bath or shower remodel from Kohler Services. And this month only, get 0 interest financing for 12 months and a free shower door with your Lugstone shower remodel. My new friend Chris from Oostburg is one of their skilled installers who demos your existing bath or shower, removes it, and disposes it before installing your brand new dream shower. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau.
There's no second chances. There's no do-overs. We're definitely primed to take that next step. That's the focus and the goal.
This is your Green and Gold Fix on 100.5 ESPN.
It takes a lot of hard work, dedication, sacrifice, pain to get to where you want to go.
This Green and Gold Fix is driven by Metro Ford.
For the 20th year in a row, an undrafted free agent rookie has made the Packers' initial 53-man roster. Defensive lineman Nazir Stackhouse, who played college ball and was a two-time All-SEC selection at Georgia, figures, has made the Packers' 53-man roster. Another notable player that made the Packers' defense in the initial 53 was, well, Bo Melton, who used to not play defense. Melton was switched to quarterback earlier this summer, and the Packers have given him the green light at his new position as the season quickly approaches. I'm Alex Strofe.
Purchase, finance, or service a new or pre-owned Ford at Metro Ford of Madison on the east side today.
GRB Academy is baseball for the serious player. Over the past 15 years, GRB has been Wisconsin's top destination for player development and advancement, including over 468 college commitments and 27 MLB draft picks. Their facility in Windsor is the home of GRB Rays baseball and features over 52,000 square feet of elite baseball training. Tryouts for the 2026 summer season begin July 22nd. Find full training programs and register now at grbacademy.com.
ESPN Madison is your home for Wisconsin Badgers volleyball.
Underneath it, bumps it, left side, powers it down. What a rally, and Wisconsin comes out on top.
From early season showdowns to a run for the national title, hear every match this season on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Blocked by Bucky.
Wisconsin Badgers volleyball on ESPN Madison is presented by Steinhoffels and Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Also brought to you by Love Madison and Smith Roofing.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here. American Family Insurance can help protect your dream home for whatever comes next. You can live in your own oasis or your own clubhouse. Whatever you choose, get the right coverage. Save up to 23% by bundling home and auto. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI and its operating companies. 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hey, this is Jeff Levering with the Brewers Radio Network, and I've got a question for you. Is your home ready to shine this season? Whether it's roofing, siding, or windows, Ridgetop Exteriors is the name you can trust. For over 20 years, Ridgetop Exteriors has been Wisconsin's favorite for roofing, and they bring that same expertise to siding and windows. Imagine vibrant, low-maintenance siding and energy-efficient windows that brighten your home while cutting energy costs. Ridgetop Exteriors holds all expert-level installation credentials with the leading manufacturers, including Pella, James Hardy Fiber Cement Siding, and LP SmartSide Engineered Wood Siding. With thousands of 5-star reviews and a commitment to excellence, they're the clear choice for home improvement needs. Plus, consultations and estimates are always free, so there's no reason to wait. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today or visit ridgetopexteriors.com to schedule your free consultation. Ridgetop Exteriors, putting customers first every time.
Ridgetop Exteriors is the place for you.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just to you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
Before we get to Whoa Nelly, I want to remind you again, I hope you never have to make the call. I hope I never have to make the call. I did make the text after Paula and Maddie were rear-ended in Madison, but I hope you never have to make the call. They weren't seriously injured, thankfully. Hope you never are either. But if you are, you need to make the call. Gruber Law Offices. They're the best in the business, and they will make sure you are taken care of the way you need to be taken care of. 414-276-6666, 414-276-6666. Find out more about the firm, about David and everything he does in our communities, all the great wins they've had, everything at gruber-law.com. Time now for Whoa Nelly.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde and Tausch.
Breaking news from Jordan Schultz, the coffee guy. The Packers are bringing back Mecole Hardman on the practice squad.
Wow.
Interesting development.
NFL comes at you fast. Tausch said it about this time yesterday.
Indeed it does.
Whoa,
You think he gets elevated week 1?
I do. Again, we talked about this earlier in the show. If you missed it, you can find it on the ESPN Wisconsin app, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. I don't know if it's still on Stitcher. I don't even know if that still exists or not. But YouTube, wherever. But we talked about it. You got a punt returner coming off of a foot injury. You got a kick returner who is your number one corner. It sounds like risky business to me to put those guys out there on return. So Goody's talking at 2. LaFleur's talking at 2:25. We'll ask him about Mecole Hardman. Then, Jesse, I'd like to give you your segment back now.
Whoa, Nelly!
Gabe, your choice. Do you want to hear some audio from Adam Schefter on your show this morning to react to? Or do you want to hear about the legendary move Wisconsin volleyball broadcaster John Audius pulled in an event last night?
I want to hear about Audius.
He is the voice of Wisconsin Badgers volleyball. They start their season on Friday on 620 WTMJ and 100.5 ESPN. Wisconsin Badgers volleyball, 8th ranked in the country at the Kohl Center on Friday night and Sunday against Kansas and Texas, respectively. So we had a big event last night. Kelly Sheffield, the head coach, came by our office here. We had some friends from Northwestern Mutual Insurance came in as proud partners of Wisconsin volleyball this season with us. And we had North and South Seafood and Smokehouse cater the event. And so John was in line to get some brisket and some burnt ends, all the good stuff that North and South had available for us. And he set his plate a little too close to the end of the table, and the plate fell. And not many people saw this happen. I was one of the only ones who had eyes on it as it was happening. The second the plate hit the floor, John looked around and said, "Hey, somebody dropped their brisket." And as some people jumped into action and he helped clean it up, and he almost got away with, even though I even saw it happen, I believed he didn't do it because he was so quick to, someone dropped it. It was an incredible move, and it had me questioning the reality that I witnessed.
And he would have gotten away with it, too, if it wasn't for those meddling kids.
I guess my question overall is dropping food that embarrassing, or does that just kind of happen? Or is that is that a lonely island to live on?
Yeah, because it's the noise when you're at a big function like that. It's the noise the plate makes. If the plate drops, everybody stops what they're doing. I mean, it's the same thing if a glass breaks in a bar. Like you drop your pint glass, everybody stops what they're doing because it's such a loud noise.
Heads turn.
It startles, and now all of the eyes are on you for something that you, didn't necessarily do wrong, but you didn't do anything right. And yeah, that becomes embarrassing. Absolutely, that's embarrassing.
Did you interview him afterward to get details on what had occurred?
No, I saw it happen. He just set the plate it's
right.
Know,
but
when you have a paper plate, you set it too close to the end, it just kind of tips over because you got all that loaded up brisket.
So it was a
and
paper
pork.
plate.
It was a paper plate. Yes.
So it quietly hit.
So
the ground.
it hit the ground. It was noticeable. Something hit the ground, and hey, someone dropped their brisket, and would have got away with it. Incredible move by John Audius.
So you're saying he did get away with it?
He would have, yes. If he admitted after 5 seconds, yeah, it was me. Because I looked at him like, wasn't that you that did? He's like, yeah, it was me. But it was a great move by him.
I'm troubled by how impressed you are by this duplicitous behavior.
Yeah, of the all-time lies I've ever seen, like watching reality TV Survivor, where people are lying about who they're going to vote for, having an immunity idol, all those things. This was as good a lie as I've ever seen in the history of since the dawn of time. It's good.
Whoa, Nelly!
I think I would have rather heard the audio from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, which I heard live.
And good news, there's still time. Here's Adam Schefter on Jen,
I
Gabe,
heard
and
the
Chewy.
Shefty audio.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of I think was hoping for something a little bit more from John Adias.
So he's a good liar. That's what everyone needs to know.
Which, by the way, the volleyball game is going to be 94.5 ESPN.
Yes.
On Friday evening.
Brewers, Blue Jays.
Lucky Brewers.
On 620 WTMJ.
We'll be over on 620 WTMJ.
Makes sense. Here's Adam
Boy,
Schefter.
Jason, I like that.
Here's Adam Schefter on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy this morning.
I think that they would love to be interested. I think they're monitoring things. I think that they probably checked in on Trey Hendrickson just to see what it was, would be my guess. And I could see that. Now, the whole question is, there's interest across the league in Micah, but I don't think anybody feels right now like Dallas is going to realistically trade him. That's the bigger issue, is that people don't feel like Dallas is going to make a move. Now, we'll see if that changes or not.
Gabe, what did that mean to you when you heard it in real time?
Expected to hear it from, the biggest hurdle here is, I don't came from nowhere that we've discussed. I don't think they came from nowhere. I think the Packers have real interest in it. I think which would be aggressive, but the biggest issue and the biggest hurdle is Micah Parsons traded right now because Jerry Jones isn't.
We're having some connection issues with Gabe. We'll have to see if we can get that coordinate.
So here's the worst part of doing this show with. We have such a great team here, and we got a break anyway. But here's the worst part. I love doing the show from the basement. The commute is great. But whether it's Tausch at a pickler or Gabe's in studio, so I'm not sure what's glitching him out over there. But
same.
I never know if it's me or them.
Yeah.
Right? So is there something wrong with my headphones? What's happening? So we lost Gabe for a second there. We will reconnect with him and wrap things up after Jesse tells us about Tausch's favorite mixer, the transfusion with Tito's.
I'm getting kind of tired of doing this today. Mark Tauscher here. You know me. I love three things: football, firing up the grill, taking days off. It's actually four things, and a solid cocktail in hand. And when it's time to kick back, whether I'm tailgating before the game, watching from the couch, or grilling with friends, Tito's handmade vodka is always my go-to. Made in Austin, Texas, at the first legal distillery in the state, Tito's is 6 times distilled for a clean, smooth finish, and it's naturally gluten-free. That means it mixes with just about anything, from a spicy Bloody Mary on game day to a classic vodka tonic while flipping burgers. And here's what makes me like Tito's even more. They're not just about great drinks. Tito's gives back in a big way, partnering with nonprofits and doing real good in communities across the country, especially for our four-legged friends. They are huge in the dog community. So next time you're raising a glass, make it with Tito's handmade vodka, distilled and bottled by 5th Generation, incorporated in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
We'll wrap things up with or without Gabe next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Listen to Madison Money Guy every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN and ESPNWisconsin.com.
I like to refer to inflation as the silent killer. It's an invisible risk. It's just the idea that things get more expensive over time. You're going to need milk and eggs when you're in your early 60s and when you're in your early 80s. You're going to get a loaf of bread, and it's going to be more expensive 20 years from now.
Christian Finfrock is the Madison Money Guy. Call him today at 208-1800.
You, rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by Bruner Realty, providing excellent real estate and property management services in the Madison area for over 30 years. Contact their team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to get housed today. What will we see when Wisconsin hits the field against Miami, Ohio? Barry Alvarez putting his wish list together for Week 1. More from Coach on the latest episode of The Barry Alvarez Show.
I'd like to see us establish a run. Then if we can do that, I know we can throw the ball after that. I want to see a defense is sound and then flies around and is physical. Be sound in what you're doing playing. I want to see guys that are excited, and I want to see people that'll whack you.
Wisconsin College Game Day gets the party started from 6 to 8 p.m., followed by a 2-hour post-game show immediately after the final play.
For long-lasting comfort and reliability, our craftsmen make it easy to trust Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Right now, get 0% interest for up to 5 years at PellaWI.com.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right and naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything, from the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys. Tito's is known for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
Ben Brust here to tell you about why your next work van should be from Mercedes-Benz Sprinter at Zimbrick European. First off, we have versatility. The Sprinter vans offer 16 body types and thousands of ways to customize that space. Number 2, we have reliability. Sprinter's most powerful diesel engines last longer and require less maintenance, spend more time on the road and less time in those bays. Number 3, we have safety. Sprinter's safety technologies include curtain airbags all around, load adaptive electronic stability program, and crosswind and attention assist. Number 4, Van Care Mobile. Our maintenance team can come to you with routine service. Who wants to go in? Let them come to you. They work with multiple trucks on one visit. Use the Mercedes Meet Connect. And last but not least, get your Zimbrick Sprinter at Zimbrick European at Rimrock Road and the Beltline, or go online at ZimbrickEuropean.com, because your next Mercedes Sprinter van is waiting for you.
At Gruber Law Offices, we've helped tens of thousands of families after a serious accident. Our priority has always been our clients. We're here for you whenever you may need us. One call, that's all.
Electric bills are out of control, but with federal incentives, you can go solar with zero upfront cost and start saving hundreds a month. Badgerland Exteriors and Solar is a local and family-owned company, and they make the switch to solar simple. No pressure, no hassle, just honest.
AJ with Badgerland Exteriors here. Contracting made easy is more than a tagline. It's how we run our family business. Visit BadgerlandExteriors.com to get started on your next project. That's BadgerlandExteriors.com.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
Something special's brewing in Milwaukee.
Fly ball to deep right. It is back. Out of here!
Madison's home for Milwaukee Brewers baseball. 100.5 ESPN.
You can't make it up.
Give him hell, tender hands, gonna live life till we're dead.
All right, we're already over. But my dream of Tommy DeVito being the third quarterback for the Packers is dead. He has been claimed on waivers by the New England Patriots. Gabe, any last words if we can actually hear them?
Go Brewers.
That's it for us today. Have a great day. Thanks to Gabe for filling in as our cousin sub of the day. You have been listening to Wilde and Tausch.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcast.